What is up, everybody? My name is AC Johnny, and I am joined by Mr. Bubba tonight on Beneath the Hood. We're back. Bubba, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited for this episode. We've got a fun one today. It's different. It's not Assassin's Creed related for the most part. It's just
Mm-hmm.
gaming related. So we're kind of testing the waters a little bit today to see, if you guys appreciate some non-Assassin's Creed related content. I know we're very much known for our Assassin's Creed opinions and our videos and things like that, but we like a lot of other games. And I anyways, the video that we're talking about today, Assassin's Creed, is a very minor point for me, at least, in this topic today. So, looking forward to this off-topic. Instead of beneath the hood, maybe we're beyond the hood for this one.
Yeah, yeah, beyond the hood. That sounds like we made it out of the hood, but it's fine. We'll we'll roll with it. But yeah, guys. I mean, this is a really super duper common a question I get whenever I'm streaming or on my TikTok, because my TikTok is entirely Assassin's Creed, and people always ask me, like, either they approach it from two ways. Sometimes they're respectful and curious, and they say, "Do you play anything else?" Most of the time, they say, "What do you know? You only play Assassin's Creed." And so, this is a. I mean, we are gamers, right? I mean, it's my personal favorite hobby. Every free moment I get, I like to play games, and especially, I'd say in the last 3 or 4 years, I've been purposefully forcing myself to kind of branch out a little bit and try new things, and all different genres. I mean, just last year alone, I played like Assassin's Creed. I played Diablo. I tried a racing game. Like, I'm really trying to branch out, and in doing so, it's been one of the best like experiences. I've had so much fun, and because of it, I'm not really afraid to try kind of different kinds of games that I'm not used to anymore. So I highly recommend it to anybody who's kind of, for a long time, I was kind of in the, like, I'm going to play COD, Fortnite, and maybe some Assassin's Creed. That Assassin's Creed was my single player game for like 5 years. And I'm going to play COD and Fortnite and whatever, FIFA with my brothers. And if you're one of those people and you're like afraid to branch out, I can't recommend it enough. Some of my favorite experiences, as we will get into today, have been when I've branched out from my comfort zone. So
Yeah, I've got a few on my list too that I didn't think I was going to enjoy, and they were my favorite. So that being said, if you can't tell already, our topic for today is our personal rankings of the top 10 video games that we have played. Johnny and I will say, have very different tastes in games. We both love Assassin's Creed. We can agree on that. But beyond Assassin's Creed, what we play is pretty different. And so I have no idea what his top 10 are going to be. And mine are, I feel like I'm kind of a basic beach. Like, I feel like my top 10 are pretty typical, especially my top, like, 3 are like everybody's top
Good.
3, I feel like.
That's what it should be.
But beyond that,
people
it's
like
a
you
little bit
lot
different.
more.
But I feel like I'm kind of a white girl gamer, pretty typical. So you can probably clock some of mine pretty quick. But yeah, I'm curious to see yours. So that being said, let's dive into it. We're gonna start at number 10. Actually, no, we're gonna start at honorable mentions. We've got some honorable mentions. Johnny, I'll let you go first. Give me a quick rundown on your honorable mentions and why they didn't make the top 10.
So I couldn't. As I was making this list, I could make a top 20, a top 30, pretty well ranked at that, but we simply don't have time for it. And I couldn't mention like my favorite video game list without talking about these games. And I'm not going to go into why I like them or anything like that. I'm just going to list them off. So I have 5 honorable mentions. Diablo 4 sneaks in. I played it last year, and it was amazing. I loved every second of it. So that sneaks in. It was my first, entry into an ARPG, and it was amazing. So Diablo 4, new Super Mario Bros. DS. It was like my first ever like sit down and play a game by myself alone experience. I was like 9 or 10, and it was peak. I've beat it probably close to 4 or 5 times. Dishonored 2 makes the list. Dishonored 2 is a very, very special game. One of the best stealth games ever made. Highly recommend. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate makes the list. it could be higher, and I've really debated putting it actually in my top 10 just because of the amount of time I've put into it. But there are others. And then finally, my last honorable mention is God of War 2018. The only reason it's an honorable mention is because I'm like 7 hours into it right now. I just started it, and I am completely and totally 100% blown away. Expectations passed. I can't believe this thing exists and I never played it. It somehow lives up to the hype, but I haven't beat it. This will, without question, be like a top 3 for me. So, but since I haven't beat it, I can't put it up there yet. So those are my honorable mentions.
All right, Will. That's a good list of honorable mentions. I've got a lot. I'm probably just gonna rattle through some of them. I have so many games that I truly enjoy. So my top 10 ranking, I ranked based off of mainly my enjoyability the first time I played it. And some of these games I have only played once because the replayability isn't quite there. But it's going to take a while for me to come back to it because it took me so long to beat it in the first place. And that's okay. But I'm kind of gauging things off of how much I enjoyed it the first time around. And yeah, it was really tight. Some that I have in here, Star Wars Force Unleashed when I was growing up, that was peak gaming.
Classic.
Minecraft, of course. Minecraft just has to be in here, right? Everybody loves Minecraft. Halo 2, I grew up on. My favorite Halo. I'm replaying it right now. It's a lot of fun. Civilization 5, very fun multiplayer, like board game, top-down strategy, resource war game. It's kind of like Risk and Catan combined. Very fun. Assassin's Creed 3 is in honorable mentions, surprisingly enough. I thought it was going to be higher, but it's not.
Wow.
Baldur's Gate 3, very enjoyable. I have a lot of respect for that game. It's kind of exhausting for me to play. You got to, if you're going to play it, you got to lock in for hours. You got to set aside the time for it. But I have beat it. It's very enjoyable. It's fun with friends. Monster Hunter World. I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. I love the Monster Hunter franchise. Super fun gameplay. And World opening up to just that level of multiplayer and that expansiveness was so fun. And the last one is Elden Ring. I love Elden Ring.
Whoa.
You would think that would be a little bit higher on my list because I'm pretty easy to clock. I love it as a multiplayer game. I've got the co-op mod that I play with a buddy of mine, and sometimes a few buddies. We've got 2 or 3 people in there. And that's a ton of fun. However, solo, not my cup of tea. I don't enjoy games that are that difficult or that punishing. And so I got halfway through it to the halfway mark on my own when I first played it, but it was exhausting. And then when I downloaded the co-op mod, it was like, there we go. That is way more fun. So that's why it's an honorable mention, because I got to mod it with the unlimited, the co-op unlimited, or whatever the mod is called. It's like seamless co-op mod where you don't have to summon each other all the time. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions, to name a few.
Well, thank you. Yes, I mean, listening to those, I can already, you were going like Halo 2, Minecraft. People are going to like your list a lot more than mine.
Mine's a little bit more predictable, I think.
So I want to clarify before we hit the actual top 10, because I just looked at my list and I know a lot of people will feel insulted. I am a kind of specific kind of gamer. I will explain what that means. These are just my favorite games to play. If gun to my head, I can play, my this game or that game. I'm going to go with the one I like more, not what's critically acclaimed or anything like that. This is the AC Johnny list through and through, as I'm sure yours is the Bubba list through and through. I'm looking at this list right now and I know people are going to be mad. But I don't care. It is my list. These are my absolute favorite games. And if I may start, Bubba, with number 10.
Yes, go ahead.
My number 10 game of all time, which on this ranking is Bloodborne.
Okay.
Bloodborne, I played for the first time again, in October, I think, of 2025. Just a few months ago, I started it, and my friend had recommended it to me for years. And like you, I was very hesitant to get into like a difficult game. I mean, I like Assassin's Creed, right? There's not much difficulty in there. Outside of like a multiplayer game, like I don't see the reward in grinding like a solo game. I never have, so I've stayed away from games like this. I mean, even something like I used to play the old Monster Hunters on DS. Those are really hard.
They are very hard.
And those actually deterred me from, because you play them solo on the DS and like good luck fighting this giant dragon, and it always deterred me. But
I feel bad that you played those on the DS, by the way. I grew up playing on the PSP, which was peak gaming experience. And then when the 3DS came out, I got one of them on the 3DS. It sucked. Like, the controls are whack. And
they are whack.
Yeah, it's way harder on a Nintendo system. But anyways,
they're whack. But I loved that got me into like Capcom. That got me into like, so I had a really good experience with Monster Hunter 3, I think was the game. I loved it, but I couldn't beat it. Simply, I just didn't have the patience, and it was too hard for me. So long story short, I don't like hard games. And that's seemingly a very hot take these days with the success of Elden Ring and things like that. But so here we are 10 years later. I say, all right, let me try Bloodborne. Let me try it. I'll do it because my buddy, it's his number one. He's played it like 4 times. He can't recommend it enough. So I said, all right, I'll play it for you, man. And so I hopped into it, and immediately I was like, what the F is what's happening? Like, why is this happening to me? I'm getting one-shotted by all this nonsense. It feels like they didn't design it well. It's so janky. I was getting so frustrated. But you stick it out. You learn the fight. You're not going to beat it on the first try. You're not going to beat these bosses in the second try. It's going to take learning. And then when you finally get like a pretty good run and you die, you go, oh, wait a minute, like, I can do this. And then you go and you beat it, and it's a really good feeling. The boss fights was something that I had to come to terms with in that loop I just talked about. You go back, you try it, you go back again, you try it, and you get better. That was rewarding. That's not the best part of this game. The best part of this game, and this is a constant theme on my list, is the atmosphere is untouchable. The like creepy, gothic, like dark vibe of the whole game is unlike anything I've ever played. And the other thing that I thought was like art was the level design. I've never, and maybe this is common for FromSoft games. So a disclaimer, this is the only FromSoft game I've played. I have them all on my list now. I'm definitely going to go through them all, hopefully in the next couple, in a year or two. But the level design in this game was like bananas. It was like artwork. I swear to God, you go here and then you have a shortcut here and then you're walking and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I ended up at the beginning area. Like all this shit that they designed was masterclass in level design. The combat system took a while, but I got there eventually and I was hooked. I probably played like 30 hours in 2 weeks at one point around Christmas time this year, and it was an absolutely wonderful gaming experience. It's number 10 on this list because it was too freaking hard. The last boss took me something like 6 hours to beat in the DLC, the Orphan of Kos, if you're familiar. It was an absolute battle, but it was fun. It was rewarding in the end, frustrating as it was while I was losing. Once I finished it, I said, wow, that was unlike anything I've ever touched. I get why people praise Miyazaki. I get the whole FromSoft type. I'm in. I get it. Wonderful experience. That's my number 10.
That's so funny. When you're explaining the atmosphere and you're like, it's dark and creepy, and I'm like wincing. That is what I hate. Like, I probably will never play Bloodborne. I am all about the vibes of a game, and if the vibes are dark and creepy, sign me off. I like, even like where I draw the line is honestly like Dishonored. And I love Dishonored. I played it at launch. But yeah, that was like, that's as far as I'll go into Creepyville, I think. That's funny.
It is creepy. Dishonored 1's very creepy.
But yeah, I've heard very good things about, of course, FromSoft. They do level design, I think, better than anyone else. So
I didn't know that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Was I surprised?
Yeah, but I've only done Elden Ring. I think I played like a bit of Dark Souls 2 and it was like, F this. So.
Yeah, but it's that same vibe of like in Elden Ring, it's the boss fights, right? And you're like, that was not fair. And then once you start to learn it, it is a really rewarding one.
It is, yeah, it is. Once you start to get it, you're like, I am a god. And not because I'm overpowered, but because after try 56, I finally killed this frig.
Yeah.
So love it. All right, well,
What you got?
mine's a pretty different note. I did have 2 honorable mentions. I did want to mention. Marvel Rivals is worth bringing up. I looked last night, and I have 250 hours on my PlayStation on that freaking game. It's been out for a year.
Hell yeah.
That's one of the highest hours I've put into any game, and so props to Rivals. I have a love-hate relationship with it, but I have fun with it more than I don't. So yeah, very fun game. And then never mind, I forgot the other one. There was one more, but that's okay. We'll move on.
Well, if you remember it.
I think I was thinking of Dragon's Dogma 2, but I technically did not
wow.
finish that game to completion. So, but very enjoyable game.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 10 spot is Valheim. Valheim is a very fun game. Have you played Valheim?
No, but many people have recommended it to me.
So Valheim is just this sweet little, it exists on this nice little island of gaming where this was kind of I don't want to say like an early adopter necessarily, but one of the earliest games of the whole survival crafting, base building type game. Not as early as like Rust, but it's not at all like Rust. It's a single, well, it is multiplayer, but it can be single player. And it's just so relaxing. You're in Valheim, which is like this space, I guess, between Valhalla and, Midgard. And so like you're having to prove yourself to Odin that you're worthy to be, brought into Valhalla or something like that. There's a little bit of a story, but the biomes that they've created, it's this giant planet, just like Minecraft, that you get spawned into, and it's procedurally generated as far as like the structure of the biomes and where everything is and stuff. And I love it because it's not just that it has many biomes and those biomes grow in difficulty, but in order to progress into the next biome, which it's all open world, you can walk into any biome that you want when you find it. But the difficulty of the enemies significantly increases and the enemy types increase. And there's some really cool crafting with the enemy design there, but it grows with you. So to get beyond the first biome, you have to find where the boss of that biome spawns and summon it, and then defeat the boss, and then you can start to get the materials from that boss to delve into the next biome and kind of do it all again. So you start with wood and stone items, and then you kill the first boss. You get like the antlers of this deer boss, and then you can start mining ore with that. So you can get copper and tin, and you can make bronze armor and bronze weapons. And you kill the boss in that biome, and now you're doing iron weapons. And the biome, you've got like dark forests and plains and swamps and mountains, and it's so cool. And playing that online with friends is so fun. There's the base building mechanic is not super complicated, but it's just enough to like have fun and build something that is like custom to what you want it to look like, all within still like kind of the Norse, theme. But yeah, that is such a relaxing and fun game. I can play it for hours on end and not get bored. It's just that perfect level of not super crazy exciting combat, anything like that, but also not super slow. I don't know what I should do next, roaming around.
Yeah.
And the music, the soundtrack to Valheim is peak. I could listen to it forever. It is so peaceful and nice. Probably top like 5 soundtracks for video games. Very, very good soundtrack.
Wow.
But anyways, if you haven't played Valheim, it's like a little indie game. They're always adding stuff to it. I don't know if it's on console yet. It might be. But yeah, if you're looking for a survival crafting, game, look it up. Very fun. They're one of the few that really did it right. I feel like there's a lot that are coming out now that are like, it's the same old, but this is its own thing for sure.
So that's fascinating. I've heard so many good things about that game. I did not realize it was like a survival game, and I know I'd said at the beginning, like, I've branched out to everything. That is a genre I have not really tried, and I don't know if I would like it. Like, managing my own, like, life. I'd hate to have to get out of work and then keep myself alive in a game.
Well, yeah, it's
I
not
struggle with
like that in
enough.
depth where because some games you have to find food and cook food and
Yeah.
drink water, make sure the water's clean. Like I played a game called Green Hell where you're stuck in this
Yeah.
Amazon jungle and you're having to like survive poisonous plants and eat specific foods and cook them and water. You need to have clean water and not get, bacteria in your cuts and all this stuff. Super in depth. It's not that. The food system
Okay.
in this game is just for stamina, and that's it. You're not going to
Okay.
die if you don't eat food. So it's like again,
right.
it's that level where it's not nuts, and it's not too not enough. It's just
All right.
nice, relaxing middle ground. But yeah, anyways, a lot of fun.
I'll put it on the list.
You
That's-
should.
That's I've been recommended
play it
many
with you.
times because, oh hell yeah! I mean, a lot of people know I'm obsessed with like Norse mythology and stuff. So
Oh, you'd love it.
I'm in.
I've got it downloaded right now.
Anything
It's always on my
I
drive.
should. All right, let me move to my number 9 game, and this might, if I were to guess, I'd say this is the only time we're going to have any sort of crossover. My number 9 game of all time is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
So
I will say right now, Odyssey is not on my list.
whoa, it didn't even make your honorable mentions.
No, well, my honor mention is so long. There could be multiple AC games in there. I had to put AC3 if I'm going to put anything.
That's fair.
But I do have
That's
one Assassin's Creed game in here, and it's actually next. So, but it's not Odyssey.
All right. Well, I thought it was going to be Odyssey, but
I do love Odyssey. Though.
Odyssey certainly sneaks into my top 10. The first time I played Odyssey, I had just finished Origins, and Origins was really not my thing at the time. It felt clunky. The mechanics weren't all there. And then I go to Odyssey. Everything's sharp. Everything's polished. The character model's smaller and cleaner, and all that stuff was great. And then once you get through the beginning, like 4 or 5 hours, you hit this open world, which, in my opinion, is the single most impressive, single most, like, confusing open world of all time. I have no idea how they made it. It is so big. It is so detailed. It's packed with things to do and hidden chests and hidden gear pieces, and you can literally swim across this map for like 10 hours if you wanted to. It is the most impressive open world I've ever played in a video game, and I've played a lot of open world games. It's nuts. The combat is super fun. It just improves upon Origins combat, in my opinion. The stealth you can make work. They have some stealth abilities, as hard as it is. And I think the story is really, really solid. I love Alexios. I love Cassandra. I don't care who you pick as who. The story holds up great no matter what. You have multiple endings. The side characters are all amazing. The music is amazing. And I think this is where they hit the RPG Assassin's Creed formula. I think in Origins they tried. They were like, we need to make our way into this genre because it's big right now. We're going to pivot. Here we go. Origins didn't quite have it all fleshed out. Odyssey does. Odyssey has endless gear pieces. Odyssey has so much customizations. You can do different builds on how you want to play. All these like engravings you can put on the weapons to make them work better. And atmosphere. I'll say it again. Atmosphere in this game's amazing. This is like Ubisoft Quebec's bread and butter. It's not serious whatsoever. As a Greek, like ancient Greek game should be. It's like kind of goofy, kind of like a comedy. It's kind of everything's exaggerated. The colors are all saturated to hell. The characters are all funny. There's way too many leaves blowing around. Like it is so stylized in the best way. I remember I played it, and at the time when I had beat it, I was like, wait a minute. This might be my favorite Assassin's Creed game. And on any given day, it is certainly in my top 3, top 2. Never is going to touch top 1, which we will get to later. But can't speak enough about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. If you like open world RPGs, I can't think of a better place to go to look, especially if you like ancient Greek. If you like ancient, Greece, I can't think of a better place to go there either. It's a amazing experience. I had a great time. Everybody should play it, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. And I think I think people don't realize that probably the main reason why Assassin's Creed Valhalla sold as many copies as it did was because Assassin's Creed Odyssey ripped so hard.
Facts.
It seriously was. It was the opposite of Valhalla, where I feel like when Odyssey released, people were like, I don't know about this one. And then they picked it up. A lot of people picked it up. It was nominated for Game of the Year, which is the only Assassin's Creed game ever to be nominated for Game of the Year.
Correct.
And,
That's true.
it was very successful and it stood on its own 2 feet. And so when Valhalla is announced and coming out, people are like, yeah, pre-order, sign me up. And it wasn't received as well as I think as maybe the hype was. I think the hype was a little too high for how it was received, but nonetheless, people freaking love Valhalla, and it performed how it performed, and it's not just because of Odyssey, of course, but I think leading up, the reason why I was hyped for Valhalla was because of Odyssey, and to see what they did in Greece. Oh, cool! Yeah, let's do this with Vikings too. I love it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, my number, what is this? 9. Okay. We're 2 in. My number 9 is an Assassin's Creed game. It is not Odyssey, although I do love Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It is Assassin's Creed Origins.
Whoa.
For the exact opposite reason of you, which is really funny. You said that you played Origins, and then you're like, okay, they're getting there. And then you played Odyssey, and you were blown away. I had the exact opposite experience. At this time, I had gotten out of Assassin's Creed after Unity. I didn't want to play anymore. I didn't care for Syndicate, wasn't going to play it. And then I was MIA during Origins and Odyssey. And so I get back home to the States. I see kind of what I'm getting back into gaming again. And I'm seeing, okay, Assassin's Creed's been cooking a little bit. They took this RPG route. I'm going to try. I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I think, for free or maybe for like $10 because they had all these like old Ubisoft currency coins that I got over the years, and fell in love with it. I loved Odyssey, but it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game for me. It just wasn't. It was a super fun Greek simulator, and I loved the combat and the open world. Ancient Greece is like number one ancient Greece all day. Like that's the best setting. But then when I saw that they did an ancient Egypt one, and it was with an assassin, and it was about the guy who made the assassins, I was like, dude, this looks sick. And that, for me, was like, no, this is it. They are cooking with this. The atmosphere, like ancient Egypt and ancient Greece are, pretty different, and some people like ancient Egypt way more. I'm a Greece guy. But nonetheless, this was just peak out of peak. They nailed the protagonist. I loved the dual protagonist relationship. You've got Cleopatra, and you've got freaking Caesar. Like they've got banger after banger with historical elements to this game, right? This is like probably the most famous time in history ever is when you are playing this game with Julius Caesar era. Like Rome is like, that's it. You're not in Rome, but you're in the Roman Empire, right? And so, yeah, just amazing game. Bayek is a phenomenal, I think, top 1 or 2, frankly, of top protagonists in Assassin's Creed. Top 3 for sure. The story was so, like, amazing, and I think the combat was fine. I didn't feel this lack or this big change in combat. I know that there's a lot of differences between Odyssey and Origins, but it didn't seem lesser to me. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought it was a little bit more stealthy as well, and a little bit more grounded. So, yeah, Origins, for those of you that know me, AC Origins is my number 1 ranked Assassin's Creed game. So, as you can guess, there are no more Assassin's Creed games. Surprisingly, in this list, you would think there'd be more because of this podcast, but there's a lot of other games that I enjoy more. So we'll get into that.
Yeah. Well, I can't argue. I mean, I say it all the time. Like, my least favorite Assassin's Creed game is still one of my favorite games. I love them all. Origins is an amazing game for so many reasons, but it doesn't make the list. However, I have another Assassin's Creed game at number 8.
Okay, here we go.
This is the one that people are going to go, hey, wait a minute. They're not going to like this. My number 8 favorite game of all time is Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I was gonna say Unity.
I think Syndicate.
I thought Syndicate was gonna be a little later. Honestly, I know you love Syndicate.
Yes, I do love Syndicate. Syndicate is my second favorite Assassin's Creed game. Plain and simple. It, in my opinion, is kind of what Assassin's Creed should have been. If that makes any sense. I'm the biggest Assassin's Creed RPG fanboy out there. However, the trajectory from, the Ezio trilogy to the colonial era games with the Kenways into Unity, and you see Unity, and if Unity was polished, you'd go, oh, this is what a modern Assassin's Creed looks like. This incredibly detailed open world, a fascinating time period, like brand new parkour system, brand new combat system. It just didn't work. And then Syndicate is a functioning Unity, in my opinion, with a better setting and a better story. And I know a lot of people disagree with me. I love the story in Syndicate. I love the twins so much. I love the fact that they're just assassins for being assassins. There's no revenge story. There's no, save my mom who you killed. So no, the guy's a Templar and they're assassins, and that's their only reason for killing him. I think it's amazing. It's not trying to be anything. They're not trying to reboot the series. They had a clear objective in mind, saying we want to make this Victorian England era Assassin's Creed game go. And it, for me, once again, like tone, atmosphere, I think it's my favorite in the series. I think London is the best single city map in the series. It is so alive. I mean, you can have random events happening. There's houses will catch on fire and this little fire engine will pull up. You'll have fights in the street. There'll be bar fights. There'll be, people walking their dog. It is the most like alive map in the series. I think the combat is a huge step up from Unity. The counter windows are tight. They're the tightest in the series, I believe. When a guy's like gonna swing at you, there's no big hit sparks. There's no big pause and like let you block. You have to react fast, and when you do, it feels really, really smooth. I think the grappling hook's a nice addition. A lot of people hate it, but it functions incredibly well. Nobody's going to talk about it, but it's true. It never once will glitch. You can try as much as you want. It won't glitch ever. It's such a polished game. It's such a clean game. The graphics hold up better than a lot of games even today. The music is incredible. And I love the story. I love the city, and I love the characters. So it is, in my opinion, what a modern Assassin's Creed game should look like. I hope if they return to this smaller formula, which it's rumored that they will, I hope we get a lot more games that look like Syndicate, because to me it's a masterclass in world design, map design, city design, like atmosphere, time period, all of it. I love it so much. I can't speak enough about it. It was like one of my better Assassin's Creed experiences. The last thing I'll say about it and how I got into it, I played Unity first. That was my first Assassin's Creed game because I loved the French Revolution. I played it. I loved it. I said, that was really cool. I guess I'll go ahead and play the next one. I had super low expectations. Lo and behold, it blew everything out of the water. I mean, I liked it way more than Unity even the first time I played it. So Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I know you've played it once. You got to try again because it's wonderful.
Yeah, I definitely had fun playing it. I played it on stream, so it's hard to judge things that you play on stream. It's hard to pay attention to games that you play live. Yeah, I'm a little bit of opposite. I don't, at least my first time around, I didn't care for Jacob and Evie that much. The story didn't catch me that much. The setting is amazing. The combat is very satisfying. Love the quick combat, and it's the brutality of it is so great. And it's very fitting.
Quad
like you don't need to
finishers.
have a giant ass sword and shield, like but like you've got little like a cane. The fact that they have a cane and a dagger as a weapon, and your hidden blade, and your and the brass knuckles, like yes, like that is so time specific, and that would make sense. And concealing those weapons makes a ton of sense, right? So yeah, I definitely love that. My biggest disagreement for you here. I effing hate. I don't think the grappling hook is accurate at all. I'm probably just really dumb and don't know how to use it. There's one mission that you have to tail somebody like in a vehicle, but you have to do it on foot and grapple. Like you have to grapple. There's no other way to do it. I had to do that mission like 7 times. I was so mad because they kept getting too far away. I'm like, and I kept like trying to grapple but falling to the ground. So I think I just wasn't using it right, but it was just like, it's kind of towards the end of the game that it happens, and I just could not get it right.
Yeah.
And like, dude,
Yeah.
I hate this.
I understand that to a degree. I remember those missions. They are a little bit tricky, but just the concept of having it, I really liked. And I forgot to mention, really quick before you go, it's got, in my opinion, like the second best stealth in the series and level design.
It is good
It has
stealth.
the best level design in terms of like where the enemies are and their eye lines and like how you have to navigate that. It's amazing. So,
Yep,
play
I
it.
love it. Okay, my number 8 is Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh.
So this is gonna be a little bit controversial. I think that hecklers of Ubisoft have said this, and this isn't a phrase that's commonly used. However, I do agree with it. I think that Ghost of Tsushima made the best Assassin's Creed game. They literally stole Ubisoft's formula and perfected it. They have an incredible story. They paced everything beautifully. Their side missions are so relevant and on point, and they feel like full story missions. They're super fun to play. The gear system is very fun. The combat with the different stances, depending on the different enemy types that you're playing, that you're fighting against, is very intuitive. And late game, it actually gets harder. You would think, usually late game things get easier. No, late game it gets harder because you're facing so many different enemy types, and you have to be on point because they are not waiting to attack you one-on-one. They are attacking you in groups. They are not waiting for you. This isn't like Batman Arkham series that it's like, you just kind of go through one at a time like crazy. No, they will attack you at the same time. So you have to learn, which ones to pick out first, using your stance to negate some, certain ones and take out others. And yeah, the story, the voice acting, I played it in English. I kind of want to go back and play it in Japanese. It is so, like, the cinematography and the attention to detail is phenomenal. Like, I feel like I am playing a movie, but not because the story's really good. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, I think, did a similar thing where it's very cinematic, and when you do have cutscenes and like peak, high energy scenes, it feels like a movie. But it's such a long ass game that it's so spread out between this cowboy simulation, whereas Ghost of Tsushima is not that long. It's like a 40-hour game, and the stealth is phenomenal. The combat is phenomenal. There's basic parkour and climbing mechanics and a grappling hook, and you can use that in combat as well. Like, they really took the Assassin's Creed formula, went to Japan way before Assassin's Creed did, and they nailed it. And funny enough, even though this is on my top 10 list, I have yet to play the new Ghost game, the Ghost of Yaute. I'm very excited to play it. I've heard really good things. I've had a really big list of games that I want to play, like Monster Hunter. I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. Haven't played Monster Hunter Wilds yet. That's on my list. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is a phenomenal game. If you like Assassin's Creed at all, you have to play it. And if you like open world story, combat RPG games, top 10 for sure. And I've only played it once. I have not played it since. I played it in 2021, I think. And I really do want to replay it one of these days, but I got to play the new stuff too. So,
well, I can't say I've never played it, but I've heard a lot of similar takes on it. I literally didn't play it because I knew Shadows was coming out, and I didn't want to A, get like Japanned out, and B, I knew based on how people talked about it that it would be hard for Shadows to live up to that sort of reputation. And this is coming from someone who Shadows honestly should have been in my honorable mentions. I could have had a couple more honorable mentions. Shadows should absolutely be in there. It's probably my 4th favorite Assassin's Creed, at least right now. I adore Shadows, as everybody knows. And yet I knew that Ghost of Tsushima would be a hard act to follow. So, I'll get around to it someday.
And as far as the comparison between the two, I've said this on our podcast before. I really don't think that they're that comparable. And I know that seems weird because it's an open world RPG Japanese game. But in my mind, like, they don't scratch the same itch. I think that Ghost of Tsushima is very story focused, and Shadows is not. Shadows is very
more
much you roam
exploration.
around. It's an RPG. It's an action adventure game, and the story is kind of spread thin throughout it, and the story is not as impactful. But there's a lot more to do in Shadows than there is Ghost of Tsushima. Like when you finish Ghost, you're like, okay, that's kind of it. Like, yeah, I'll do the DLC, which I did do the DLC, but it's kind of more of the same. Whereas and Shadows is similar, but Shadows, it even 70 hours in, it's like, okay, there's still more that I can do. But for me playing Shadows, I was done because I wanted to get through the story, and it took 70 hours to beat the story, and I was like, okay, this is dragging out a little bit. But I think Ghost of Tsushima is very dialed in, takes you 30 to 40 hours to beat, very story focused, very heavy, hard hitting game. So yeah, you will love it if you play it, and it does scratch a different itch, I think.
Good to know. Good to know. I've heard incredible things. You should try Yote. From everything I've heard, it's better in a lot of ways than the first one. So it should be close to the top of your list if we're talking about a top 10 game of all time. Bubba, come on. All right, my number 7 game. Oh my God, we're on number 7. We're 45 minutes in.
Yeah, we're definitely cooked on time. We wanted to keep this like an hour, and that's okay. It happens every time.
I'm having fun. I don't even care. Thank you to everybody who's listening to us just yap over here. But my number 7 game of all time is Dishonored 1.
When I said Dishonored, when I said that as an example of dark, creepy games, I was like, that's going to be on his top 10.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Dishonored 1's very, very special game to me, as everybody should be able to understand now. If I'm talking about everything on this list now, we're talking I like this better than Odyssey, I like this better than Syndicate. So everybody knows how much I love those games, and these I'd actually put on a different tier now. If we're talking about like really the greatest games, I think a new tier starts right now. And Dishonored 1,
okay.
Yeah, in my opinion, is the greatest. It's the best stealth game I've ever played. I'm a huge fan of like the Metal Gears, obviously Assassin's Creed, but nothing does it like Dishonored. I mean, the creativity alone is amazing. You can do a level like 100 different ways. You can do it completely unseen. You can do it by just like raising some alarms. You can do it by assassinating a couple people, knocking out a couple people. You can go through different windows. You have all these different abilities. No playthrough will be the same. The combat, I spoke about the stealth, how amazing it is. The combat's super fun. You're completely overpowered. You just rip through enemies, and it's super, super fun. The art style's incredible. The map design for all the levels, unbelievable. And the world, the lore, this place that they built is absolutely like so unique. This like rat plague that's going through Dunwall it is such a unique atmosphere that I have yet to encounter again. I mean, for a long time, Dishonored was my favorite story game, to put it in perspective. I think I played it in like 2015 on the PS3 or something like that, and I've played it one more time since then. I think I got to replay it again because each time I do it, I love it so much. Corvo Attano is one of my favorite characters in video games, period. I don't know. It probably takes like 12 to 13 hours. If you haven't played it, it's a complete and total gem, and it was enough to put me onto those devs for life. I mean, Dishonored 1 came out.
Who was the developer?
It's Arcane is the developers, and I think published by Bethesda. So, so they've also come out with, I mean, Dishonored 2, Prey, I've played and loved. Deathloop, I didn't finish because I got like confused basically, and I was like, I don't have the time for this. But it was amazingly fun, all unique, all amazing, and they're coming out with a Blade game, like Marvel Blade game, which I will be pre-ordering. That's what I mean. Like this game alone was enough to put me onto these devs for life. So I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't played Dishonored, there's quite literally nothing else like it besides like Dishonored 2. So I can't recommend it enough. It is an almost perfect game in my opinion.
Kind of surprised they haven't made more of those games. I think they were. I did play a lot of it. I don't think I ever got past maybe 10 hours of it. When I was younger, I had a difficult time. I think it's like the first real mission that, like, after you figure out your powers and your abilities, you go to like this town on the shore, and you gotta like cut through all these guys and get to the end thing. And I think I might have beat it once, but it took me forever just because I was like, it's so hard. You're getting noticed by guards all the time. In the beginning, you're really weak, and so you can't just like 1v1 everybody. It's like you're gonna get cooked, and everybody like that was probably the most advanced stealth game at the time. The stealth mechanics were insane, and the movement too is like crazy.
So cool. I should play it. I want to play it again.
You should
just
replay
talking
it.
about
Yeah,
it. I really should.
but yep, great game pick. Okay,
Thank you.
My next one, and that one, the setting actually doesn't bug me too much. I think it is a very interesting setting for sure.
It is creepy. It's very creepy,
and the story is definitely captivating as well. The intro to that game is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 7 is a little bit of a cheat, a little bit. It's the Batman Arkham series. I have a difficulty.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with cheats.
Yeah, I have a
Go
difficulty
ahead.
picking one game because in my brain it's all one game.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the trilogy. If you tell me that it's a trilogy, I will shoot you. It is.
Nice.
There are 4 effing games, and it's so funny because there is a lot of history behind that with the third game, Arkham Origins. I guess WB was making Arkham Origins apart from Rocksteady, who was making the other Arkham games. And I think it's just because like they had the rights to do it. They needed to have like a game in the middle of release because it was going to take a long time to finish Arkham Knight, which is the final game in the series. But I remember it was 2015. And it might have been 2014, but I'm pretty sure it's 2015. That game launched. I was traveling for mountain bike racing with my dad, and I had like a laptop that I downloaded it on Steam and played it on my laptop till like 2 a.m. in a hotel room with my dad, like asleep. And so, anyways,
that's a
like peak memories.
right
but
there.
The Arkham games are so fun. If I had, I think the best combat is definitely the last one, Arkham Knight. The combat is phenomenal. It really was the start of a new genre, and the Spider-Man games exist because of the Batman games. Like the Batman games walked so that Spider-Man could run. And so the combat system with the alert above the head and the parry, the combo meters and the dodge attack, parry attack, whatever, all that, where you're just doing one guy at a time, bam, 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 bam. That is the Batman games. And so Arkham City, I think, has the best story. But Arkham Knight is the best gameplay for sure. But the whole thing is just like from start to finish, they hold up very well. Apparently, Arkham Origins, the one that's like the off one, you like can't buy it anywhere. I think maybe only Steam you can buy it, but it doesn't exist on PlayStation, on Xbox. You can't find it. And I remember streaming it like 2 or 3 years ago on TikTok, and everyone's like, "How the hell are you playing this game right now? This does not exist anywhere." I'm like, what? It's my original copy from Steam from like a decade ago. What are you talking about? But anyways, love the Arkham games. And I'm not a Batman fan because of the movies or the animated shows or the comics. I am a Batman fan because of the Arkham games. Yeah. And
hell yeah.
I don't even love the Dark Knight trilogy that much. I think they're great. The Batman, I will say, is peak. Love the Batman.
Facts.
But
better than the Dark Knight.
I love the Batman. And I didn't watch it until like 6 months ago. I finally watched it alone at like 1 a.m. in my theater, and it was amazing. And I was just like blown away. I like couldn't get enough. Very different Batman, right? Very different take. But I will die on the hill of I think that the new DCU Batman should be completely based upon the archetype of the Arkham Batman character.
Yes.
It's this perfect mix of dark, realistic, and gritty, but yet comic book accurate with, the confidence and the stature of Batman and him just kicking ass. Like in Arkham City, when you just completely wipe the floor with Ra's al Ghul, is like the most satisfying scene in all of gaming history. It is so so fun. 'Cause this is just peak Batman at this point. But you've got just like the wild, all-out villains that are it's just unapologetically them. It's the Penguin. It's, a green Ivy. It's a leathered up Black Cat or not Black Cat.
Catwoman.
Catwoman. And, the Riddler's got question marks and a green spandex suit all over his shirt, and it's amazing. And so I really hope that the DCU goes that route. I don't think they will. I think they're going to go a little darker than that. But yeah, love the Arkham series. I think I've got, it's not in this room. In one of my other rooms, I've got like an Batman Arkham poster. But anyways, peak gaming.
Yeah,
for sure. They still hold up in 2026, 100%.
I have such an interesting relationship with these games. I've never played them, but this was back when I was like 13, 14, 15, and I was in my like playthrough on YouTube era.
Yeah. Same.
I've watched every one of these games all the way through.
Yeah.
So I know the events of all of them, and I remember liking Origins the most. I remember the Christmas vibe was like
the Christmas vibe is
peak. Peak. I loved Origins.
Well, and you've got Troy Baker as the Joker.
Yeah.
You've got freaking Roger Craig Smith as Batman. That's Ezio Auditore, by the way.
Yep.
And Sonic the Hedgehog, right? He's freaking Batman in that game. And yeah, I love this is year 2 Batman. This is not year 15 Batman like the other games. So it's him at the start, and Jim Gordon is not on your side. The police are your enemy. No one's on your team. It's just rough and gritty and awesome. I love it. But
yeah. So I know all these games really well because I remember I watched like 4 12-hour
Dude, you gotta
playthroughs
play
or
them.
whatever on
Playing
YouTube.
them is a different experience.
I know. Well, so it was. I liked it so much, and I was carried by my 3DS back in the day, like that. I had Arkham Blackgate is what it was called. It was this 3DS kind of a side scroll. It is a top 3 game on the 3DS. It is so freaking fun. I love it so much. So, that would be my I should get into it, but
you definitely should.
All right. So my number 6 game of all time. I'm glad you said that about the Arkham games being like a series because I couldn't really pick one. My number 6 game of all time is Mortal Kombat 11.
Okay.
So this is a hot take because 11's not the best game in the series. Flat out, I will say that. Mortal Kombat X is better. I even like aspects of Mortal Kombat 1 better, believe it or not. But so I am a huge fan of Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat 11 is the reason I was into it. So this was in college. I didn't bring my console with me. So I was in school, and this was probably 2019, and I remember watching they had these pre-streams or the pre-release. They would have character breakdowns. They'd reveal a character and then they have these like 40-minute breakdowns of all these characters, and they do like one every 2 weeks, and I'd watch every single one of them. And this game looked amazing to me, so much so that I marched about 45 minutes to the GameStop in Philly, in the middle of Philadelphia. I said, I need this game. Like, I need to play this game when it dropped. I watched this stuff before it launched for like 6 months, and I said, I can't miss this. I marched 45 minutes. I bought a PS4 with my college money that I had literally was like, all right, I need to save some money for this. I purchased the PlayStation. I then, with a PlayStation under my arm, walked through the middle of Philadelphia. It was a dumb decision. I could have easily gotten mugged, but we didn't. Your boy's fine. I marched it all the way back to my apartment, plugged it in, downloaded MK11 on launch day, and that was the only video game I played for, I think, 5 straight months. I was addicted to this game. I think it's like the prettiest fighting game you'll ever see, and it's everything you want out of Mortal Kombat. It's gory, it's gross, and I think I put in like close to 900 hours on this game. I mean, I was fully addicted, and because of it, I went back and played a lot of MKX, and Mortal Kombat X is a crazy fun game. It's made in 2015, and then in 2023, they dropped Mortal Kombat 1, Played the shit out of that one too. So all props to this one for getting me into one of my favorite franchises of all time. Mortal Kombat is very special to me, and it's all because of this game, which is it's so. In case you're not familiar, Mortal Kombat 11 is universally thought of as like the worst one. But
How
just
come?
because
Why do people hate it?
it's slow. So it's very slow. Your characters are all bigger and bulky, and Mortal Kombat X was this like super fast-paced game, like ridiculously fast-paced, much harder to play than MK11 at like a high level. But for whatever reason, I was just glued to this game. It is my favorite Mortal Kombat. I could play it all day long. I haven't played it in like 2 years now, but man, I didn't own another game in college for like 5 months. I literally sat down, I played it every day, and I don't think I've ever played a game like that. It's such a special game to me, and it's time to go back. I really should download it again just for fun because I would still rip it. It'd be so fun. So, huge Mortal Kombat fan, and it's all because of this game.
Do you feel like they're going to make a new one pretty soon since that came out like 3 years ago?
Yeah, so 2023, so Mortal Kombat 1 came out, and it was not well liked. In a lot of ways, it's worse quality than MK11, like presentation-wise. I think the graphics are not as good. They have like less character intros and interactions. They have like less customization. So it's definitely like less of a complete game, and it was not very well received. Rumor has it they will be revealing one this year, just based on their timeline. It's like time, and all thanks to Mortal Kombat 11, I will be pre-ordering no matter what. And I enjoyed all these games. I've never had a bad experience with Mortal Kombat. They're fun no matter what. So, yeah, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat guy. I love it.
Yeah, I have never, ever played Mortal Kombat at all. So, very different list.
You would love it. You should rip it with your Discord or something. You guys would have so much fun.
I think my favorite fighting games, I loved Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii. That was fun. And Melee on like GameCube or whatever it was. But I played Soul Calibur on PS3. And funny enough, I got for Christmas, my dad gave me a little, it's a Raspberry Pi it's got like a case around it that looks like a Super Nintendo. It's like a mini Super Nintendo. And I've got like old PS1 games. I've got Super Nintendo games. I've got, like the Sega games, whatever. And so I've been playing Mortal Kombat, I've been playing Street Fighter 2 Turbo with my kids.
Hell
and
yeah.
they love that. So
hell yeah.
Not gory, so that one's a pass. But
not gory. No, yes, that's kid friendly. I love Street Fighter.
Okay, so we are on number 6. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's one of the best stories ever written of the genre, and it is the Spider-Man 2018 game.
Nice.
Spider-Man 2018. I love Spider-Man 2. I don't think the story, it was way more predictable. It was straightforward, but Spider-Man 2018, the original one, and this is why I'm saying 2018, the remaster pissed me off. And I've made videos about this on TikTok. If you're curious, you can go look it up. The story was beautifully, it is a perfect Spider-Man story. From start to finish, it is perfect. And you've got all the villains you can imagine that you could ever want in a Spider-Man story. And they got the Sinister Six in there. They have the balance perfectly done. The relationship with Doc Ock. And, you've got little Easter eggs of Miles Morales' beginnings happening and teasing future villains and whatnot. And Harry Osborn and just all of it. MJ, it's all in there. And so as a Spider-Man story, it is the best. It's better than any of the movies, even the Spider-Verse movies, which I love those movies. It's better than that. If they made a movie cut of that game, it would be the best movie for Spider-Man. Speaking of, did you watch the Spider-Man trailer today?
I did.
Bro,
Quick
I'm
thoughts,
hyped.
I don't know. It looks really good.
No, dude, I'm hyped. It's going a little bit of a different direction than I thought with like him evolving and mutating. Definitely did not see that coming.
Story. Yeah.
They're definitely cooking. They're making him a stronger hero than he's ever been before. He's like turned up to 11 now with his capabilities and his strength. But anyways, I am very excited. I love the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man of
Yes,
that.
like he's in New York. He's with the Punisher. He's with the Scorpion. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Who's like, but and like, okay, the rumor is, well, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. I saw this on TikTok. Does it count as a spoiler? I mean, nobody knows. This is just speculation. Can I say?
Sure. Yeah.
I believe people are thinking that Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey, and the whole plot is he has to kind of find her and stop her.
No, Sadie Sink. I thought it was confirmed that she is playing Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Like I thought it was in the cast lineup.
Oh, I don't think it was officially there. Either way, whatever. I think maybe I wasn't spoiling anything. But you know,
I'm actually almost sure because I think she was on Jimmy Fallon, and Jimmy Fallon was like, "So you're in the new Spider-Man movie?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm Gwen Stacy."
Well, hold on. What are we doing? There's a
unless that was like AI, and I'm just like boomer mode over here.
Hold on.
I could have sworn that she was interviewed, and they were like joking about like her red hair, and they were like, "We thought you were gonna be some MJ," and she's like, "Nope, going blonde."
Wait a minute. There's a wonderful thing, but it's called Google. We can find this out immediately.
We can find this out. Don't roast us in the chat, please. We're boomers.
Sadie Sink does not have a character listed. She's the only person in the cast. There's a couple, but like Tom Holland, Peter Parker, Zendaya, MJ, John Bernthal, Frank Castle.
Okay, so she's in there, just not labeled yet.
Unannounced.
Okay. We'll see.
Go.
I think it's Gwen Stacy, but we didn't see Gwen in the trailer at all, so I don't know.
We'll see. The way Marvel does it is they're going to drop like 4 more trailers before the movie's actually out, and they'll spoil everything. So we'll see it.
Yeah, I do hate that. But anyways, so the 2018 game was phenomenal. I was very mad at the update because they changed the character model from whoever the actor was the first time to the new guy. He looks a lot more like Tom Holland. He's just too much of a pretty boy. Even in Spider-Man 2, it's just like, I think his design in Spider-Man 2 is actually better than in Spider-Man 1, the remaster. Yeah. But I was very upset because they didn't just change the character model. If you look at side-by-side shots of version 1 and then the remaster, you will find that they've taken out facial detail to make him prettier, which really bugs me. So like there's a scene where a certain character dies and Peter's very upset and he's distraught, and you can see he just got his ass kicked by the Sinister Six though. So he's like broken ribs, smashed face, all this stuff. So he's like broken face, dirt, like sweat glistening on his brow. You can see all of his brow lines and him just like fretting, and really it's palpable. Like the acting is palpable. If you look at the side-by-side shot with the new version, none of that. There's no sweat, there's no creases of the brow. Like his eyebrows barely move. He's just like, "Oh no, so and so died." And it's just there's like no emotion. The voice acting, it's the same voice actor. It's just the face is all different. And they like toned it down. And I really I actively hated that to the point that when I replayed the remaster, so I played the first one and I played the remaster, it did not hit the same at all. And I like wanted to go back to my original copy, which I don't even have my PS4 anymore. But I want to play the original version of it, which is really hard to do. So then I could like have that tension be palpable again, because it really bugs me. So I don't think it hits the same anymore, but nonetheless, the story's still there.
6th favorite game of all time.
And yep, number 6 on my list. Love Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, it's on my list for sure. I gotta play it. I have so many things that I haven't played that I'm sure will end up on this list eventually. Like God of War. Like I said, I can't believe it's as good as it is. So I'm sure Spider-Man's the same way. My number 5 game on my list. Again, don't come for me. It is a little game called Fortnite.
Fortnite.
So
wow.
Fortnite. So let's continue the story. I'm a sophomore in college. It is now February of 2020. I said, let me get back onto Fortnite. I played it back in like 2018 when everybody else did. I said, let me get back on this. Lo and behold, so this is the first game I download from my MK11 days when I was like only grinding out. I was like, all right, let me try a different game for the first time in 6 months and 1,000 hours. Let me try a new game. And I get Fortnite. And I start playing it, and I really start to like it. I mean, it's so hard. It's such a hard game, especially back then when I didn't know anything. And then as I was getting into it, COVID hits. And so COVID rolls around, and I played Fortnite about 8 hours a day.
Fortnite COVID was the best. Or COVID Fortnite was the best.
It is the single greatest like multiplayer experience you could ever have. It was incredible, addicting beyond belief. So much so that I just checked. I have 2,400 hours on Fortnite.
Dang, I don't have any game that's even close to that.
It is my most played game ever. And like, listen, I know people are like, oh, Fortnite's crap. And it's like, well, skill issue. Like, when you're good, it's so fun.
I've seen your
like
clips.
When you're actually,
I've seen the clips.
When you're actually, I'm not even that good. Like, I'm not. I've never won any money or anything. But like, I've played in plenty of tournaments. And Fortnite is the reason I started streaming. I started streaming Fortnite in college because I was getting good at it. I started posting TikToks about it. The only reason I'm talking to you today is because of Fortnite. The only reason I've started making any sort of content, started streaming, got a PC, it was all because of Fortnite. So you have it all to thank for my terrible takes. So, and just, it's still, I still play it. Not quite as much, but like, listen, new season drops on Thursday. Friday night, I'm going to play until my eyes bleed. I can't wait. And it's always a fun time, whether I'm playing alone or with my brother or whatever. So it's like the perfect video game to me. It is super difficult. There's like, what other game do you win like, I don't know, 8% of the time? Like, but when you do, especially in solos, there's no other feeling like it. Perfect game in so many ways. I will always love it. Number 5 game of all time. I had to put it on the list. I have 2,500 hours on the freaking game. So I love Fortnite. I always will. I don't care what you say.
I definitely can appreciate Fortnite. I did not play Fortnite until 2024. I was like probably one of the latest to the game that actually ended up playing it. But I definitely enjoyed it. For me, I would never play it alone. It has to be like with buddies, and like it's a social thing for me. But one thing that I loved about it is that you don't get, like, for me, I never really got burnt out. Like with rivals, when you're just on a losing streak, you're like, literally F this game. Why the hell is it putting me in these matchmaking? You know, what is this matchmaking? Why am I with all of these bots, and then the other team is like freaking triple diamond tier? Like, are you kidding me? But in Fortnite, it's like, you'll have games that you're like, oh, shoot, yeah, we got cooked really early on or whatever, some fluke thing. But every match is vastly different. Like, the odds of having a similar match is just, like, impossible. And from season to season, the game changes a lot. I think the first season I played was, like, with the Greek stuff, with, like, the lightning bolt and the Poseidon spear and stuff. I loved that. And then the Avatar: The Last Airbender season was peak. I loved that season with the freaking elements. Was so fun. And like the traversal with like the airbending and stuff. Loved it.
I mean, I genuinely think, well, I've never missed a season since 2020. I've played at least 30 or 40 hours every season minimum, and a lot of the times a lot more. And especially, I mean, in college, it's all I played for a long time. It was the only game I played for seriously 2 years. Like, I'd play Assassin's Creed in the background, but not like 2 hours, you know, here and there. Nothing like Fortnite. And I genuinely think it is the game with the highest skill ceiling. I think you have people who, you know, they can run and they can kind of figure out how to move their camera. It's their first like third person game. And then the peak of like the competitive level, I genuinely think it's the hardest game to be that good at. And maybe it's a mixture of it has the most people playing it, so naturally you get the best, like the most competition. But the building mechanic alone is so unique, and there's so high you can go. I've played for 2,400 hours, and I am not very good, all things considered, compared to the really good guys. And I think that is half the addicting part. When you see somebody do something, you're like, wait a minute, I got to like get into creative. Let me like figure out how he did that. I love that. It's one of my favorite things in gaming.
It's funny. So I have never played on building mode. I've always done no builds.
Duo with me, Bubba. I'll just carry you, and we'll have a great time.
Dude, it's like I feel like I'm too late to the game. Like everybody who is playing it nowadays, who are playing builds, are just masters, and I'm like, I don't even. I don't know what to do. I'm just a sandbag at this point. So
At the high level, it's one of the most fun games you can play, in my opinion. So
that's fun. All right, well, my number 5 is the least predictable game. Nobody in the chat will ever be able to guess my number 5. It is impossible to guess.
Sarcasm?
I will die on that hill. And it is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, what a great freaking call! What a great call! It's such a good game. Oh, I want to hear this.
Okay,
go.
So you have played it. I vaguely remember the fact that you played it.
Oh, I've played it, and I freaking loved it.
Dude, that's so funny that you've played that, but you haven't played Spider-Man.
I can't believe you like it more than Spider-Man. I'm shocked by that.
It's very close, but
It's
the
so
difference is, the whole time I had such low expectations, I will say, going into this game, because I got that game and Marvel's Avengers
The Avengers
at the same. It was like in a bundle for like $5 or $10 for both games.
Yeah.
So like, why not? I love Marvel stuff. Obviously, we got Marvel freaking everything everywhere. I've got like multiple Spider-Man posters everywhere. Anyways, amazing game. I had so much fun, and I was just like laughing and enjoying it the entire time. And I kept thinking it was gonna end, and then it gave me 3 more hours, and then I'm like, this is it. And then it gave me 2 more hours, and I'm like, this is the end. And then there's another half hour. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, it just keeps going in the best way possible. And it is so Guardians of the Galaxy coded. At the beginning, it's a little weird. It's like a little uncanny valley a little bit, with just like, I don't know if that's the right term to use for this, but they definitely are trying to mimic the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, right? With like,
yes.
Okay, this isn't Chris Pratt, but it might as well be. Like it's
But it's not the comic book.
definitely not the comic
right?
book. Comic book Star-Lord is a completely very serious tone character. So that the Star-Lord that we know is James Gunn. That is the only reason why this version of him exists, is James Gunn. But it's very much the Chris Pratt Star-Lord, and then and it's almost like the tone and like some of the voice influctuations and things like that it's just Chris Pratt. It's like Chris Pratt coded. Rocket Raccoon, same thing. Gamora, Groot, all that. It seems at first you're like, this feels like Kirtland brand, Walmart brand, off-brand, cereal version of Guardians at first. But then, after 5 hours, you're like, I might prefer this. And then you get 10 hours in and you're like, I am loving this. And then you get towards the end, you're like, I want more. And I think this is better than the Guardians of the Galaxy in the movie. One of my favorite characters is Mantis. I think Mantis in the movies was done dirty. Mantis in the game is a badass, dude. She is like unstoppable, OP.
She's a beast.
She's insane. And Adam Warlock, I love it. It's so great. You go so many places. It's not open world. I thought that it was going to be a little bit more open. It's very linear. But you go to so many vastly different planets and places, and the story beats are so fun. But I just was laughing and loving it the whole time. I just wanted it to keep going. I kept thinking it was going to end, and then it didn't. It just gave me more. So one of these days I'll go back and play it, but I've only played it once, and I absolutely loved it. So definitely recommend that game if you're a Marvel fan or a Guardians fan at all. One of the best games ever made, in my opinion. Definitely, probably the most underrated video game of all time.
That is not crazy to say at all. I think I remember when I played it, I was like, what? I played it probably in 2021, and I was like, wait, what? Like, this exists? It was also one of like the best looking games on the PS4. Hard stop.
Was it
beautiful.
PS4? I didn't realize when it was released.
I played it on PS4, and it's stunning on PS4. The gameplay is super fun. So you it's not like a tag thing, but you have control of everybody outside of Star-Lord, and you can combo them in. It's like the combat's super fun, and they like rip music in the middle of the combat and shit. It's like
fun. So fun.
That game is is so underrated, I forgot it. I don't think it would have made my top 10, but it was a truly wonderful experience. I think it was a little slow for me at times, but it was so fun. I think you're right. I think it could be the most underrated, underappreciated game to ever be made. It was freaking, and I'll go even more. I like the Avengers. I don't care.
I liked
think
it too.
it's so
I did too. Yep. I mean, it was $5
I can't
for me,
believe.
so.
I can't believe it got the hate it did. It's a really fun Marvel game.
If it was
really
not a
is.
live service game, it would have been very fun.
Probably
and
true.
I did
Probably
not play
true.
it as a live service game, which is why I enjoyed it. I played the story
Me
and then I
neither.
stopped.
Me
That's
too.
it.
And great. And I was like, wait, this is sick. I'm flying as Iron Man. I'm tossing people as the Hulk. I'm shooting people as Black Widow. Like, this is super fun. Thor was sick. Like
Thor's
I can't-
intro was
Yeah.
amazing because you don't play anyone to his power level, and he's kind of like missing for a lot of the game. And then when he shows up,
Yeah.
you're like, let's effing go. Like, this was like an Infinity
Yeah.
War level intro, and you just like toss these enemies around. Love that.
Now that is a game I have to play again. Even more so than Guardians, I think I'd replay that because I remember it less. I loved the Avengers Mansion vibe. Like, it was so comic booky in a way that the movies aren't. That's definitely true. Guardians is more so like the movies. Avengers is much. It definitely is MCU influenced, specifically like the way they do Tony Stark and the characters and stuff. But the Avengers Mansion, like the helicarrier, all this stuff is so comic booky. It's awesome. So I got to replay that.
And shout out to Utah, where I'm from. One of them is like in Zion's National Park.
Oh my god!
Like, that's where their
forgot
base
about
is.
That.
That's like
I
one of the
didn't even
areas.
put that together.
Yeah, that I was like looking at the map and it's like Utah. I was like, hey yo.
That's sick. Hell yeah. All right. Let's keep it pushing here. Sorry for everybody. This is gonna be a long ass episode, but who cares? This is so fun.
Who cares?
I'm in my top 4. We are in the top
4.
5 now. We're well in the top 5. Here we are. This is a top 4 favorite game of all time for me. My 4th favorite game of all time is Devil May Cry 5.
I knew it was going to show up.
It's amazing. I mean, amazing. So my story with DMC, this was 2024. I was like, I really want to play Devil May Cry 5. It looks really fun. But I have this weird thing where, like, I struggle starting with I can't just rip the 5th game in this series. I want to go back. I'm trying to break that, which is why with God of War, I'm like, let me not play the old God of Wars. Let me just go into God of War 4. Let me just do it so I can appreciate it. I played DMC 1, 2, 3, and 4. DMC 2 was god-awful. The rest of them are amazing. I mean, DMC 1 was made in 2001, and it still holds up to be pretty fun.
Wow,
I mean,
I had
it's
no
an
idea.
old game. Yep, DMC 3, I think, was made in 2005, and it's like the quintessential DMC. It's very DMC. It's awesome. DMC 4 was very fun. Whenever I played these games, I ripped them in like 2 days. I beat DMC 3 in, I think, like 36 hours. I was dog sitting for my sister, and I was like, let's do it. And I had a great freaking time. And all of this, of course, was to get to DMC 5. I fired this game up finally after going through the whole series now. I know the characters, I know the story, and I think DMC 4 was made in 2008, and then DMC 5 was made in 2019. So, I mean, talk about a graphical upgrade. You go, holy shit, the game looks beautiful, and for quite literally lack of a better term, the combat fucking rips. I mean, rips. It is like heavy metal. Do whatever you want. Combo for 100 hits. It's the most creative, over-the-top, best combat system in a game. Hard stop. It's flashy. It's fun. I don't know how they made it. If you play this, you'll know what I'm talking about. You can do so many different things. You can play it so uniquely. They have 4 different characters, if you count Virgil. The boss fights are really fun. The last one where you fight Virgil's really darn hard. The game graphically is stunning. It's beautiful. The level design leaves a little to be desired. A lot of it just looks like fleshy goo that you're running through, but you forget it because you're just ripping. I mean, the game rips. There's no better word for it. Best combat in a video game. Some of the best characters between Dante, Virgil, Nero. I think Nero might be like a top 4 character for me ever in gaming. I freaking love Devil May Cry. yeah, you want to talk about the most underrated games of all time, Devil May Cry 5 should absolutely be on that list. It should be in everybody's top 10. I cannot believe how few people have actually played it and enjoy it, because anybody who plays it, 9s and 10s across the board. It's a near, like, it's like 12 hours. It's on Steam sale for $3 all the time. Get it, play it. I promise you will not regret it. So my fourth favorite game of all time is DMC5.
So funny enough, I have played, I think DMC5, one of them, for like 10 minutes. My brother's really big into it, and so I think he was at my parents' house at the time, so I was at my parents' house. He's like, you got to try the combat in this game. Yeah. And it just looked like, watching it, I'm like, it's just like fireworks of combat. It's just like overstimulating amounts of combat.
Yeah,
but when you're playing it, it makes a little bit more sense. I'm like, okay. And it makes, like, even the 10 minutes that I played, it makes other games seem like children's games. It's like, how is a dodge parry, attack, light heavy attack, how is this even viable if you can do crap like this? And what does, like, the coding look like in the video game design for combat like this? Like, this is insane.
That's what I mean. I don't know how they built it.
The only thing that looks like somewhat on par with it, and like to that level of complexity, it's coming out tomorrow, and it's freaking Crimson Desert, dude. I am very, very excited for that game. It's usually not my cup of tea, because it's not an RPG game. They've actually said this. They're like, it's not an RPG. This is an action adventure open world game.
But not narrative, right?
Yeah, not really narrative driven. There is a narrative, but it's like kind of like Elden Ring, where it's like there is technically a narrative, but it's not really the point of the game.
Yeah.
So usually not my cup of tea, but I'm excited for it.
Have you seen Phantom Blade Zero? That's another one that the combat system looks bananas in.
I haven't, no.
That's coming out in September. It's a Souls-like, but like the animations are like it's like DMC. Like it's like overstimulating. But the special part about DMC is like while you're doing it, it's just like lightning and like rock music's playing the whole time. So it's as over the top and goofy as it is badass, and it's wonderful. You have to play it. Like this is the point of the list now, where like Fortnite, I get if it's not everyone's cup of tea. Dishonored, these are the games that like people have to play. So if you're listening, you haven't played DMC5, play it. You will not regret it.
I love it. Good rec. All right, let me look at my phone. My light here keeps dying and it's plugged in, so I pointed at it and it started freaking flashing. Okay, my number. What are we on? 4. This is where it was kind of like my top 4 are very interchangeable. It's kind of depending on like my mood for the day. They can. I said in the beginning that a lot of this is built on how much fun did I have the first time I played it. However, there is still the concept of replayability and enjoyability the second, third, fourth time that you play it. This game does not fall under that category yet because it's newer, but my number 4 is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Wow. I just barely finished that game a month ago. I'm still playing the DLC. I might delete the game for Crimson Desert just because I've played 120 hours of it, and so like, I'm good for a while.
You're cheating on it.
But yeah, I know. I feel like that. That was a game that was very unexpected for me. I did not buy it at launch. I had heard about it. It seemed interesting. First person was very interesting. Like in a world where third person gaming is so not only popular but demanded. Specifically, if you think of Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, which was a first-person Ubisoft game. And then the community comes and they're like, release a third-person view now. We hate this game in first person. Which, it's so funny because that's how Far Cry is. Far Cry is not third person, it's first person. And nobody complained about that, but then Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, they wanted third person. And they did. I think it was early last year or something, maybe late 2024. They released a third-person view. But this is, nope, not doing that. Don't even try to go in third person. If you do find a way around it, it looks really janky. Same with like Cyberpunk. If you try to go third person, it's like, ugh. What the
Was
heck?
it made for that?
They did not animate it to be in third person. Anyways, it is basically a medieval knight simulator. I did not realize this going into this game. It takes place in like 1400s Bohemia, which is like modern day like Czechia, like the Czech Republic, and like not quite Hungary, but those parts, right? Central Europe, medieval times, and it's completely historically based. Like more so than Assassin's Creed games are. It's very grounded. There's no mysticism. There's no fantasy elements. It is a medieval game. And there's like survival elements. Like the amount of attention to detail is absurd. Like not just with weapons and armor and food that you eat and drink, and you need to rest and sleep, and you get different quality of sleep depending on where you sleep. So if it's in a shed and a pile of hay versus in somebody's bed. The crime system is very intricate. If you get caught, you're going to be like lashed, or you're going to be put in the stocks, or you're going to get a brand on your neck, or you'll eventually just get hung and you'll die and need to start again. Not from the start of the game, but and like the attention to detail is insane. There's a whole stealth system, and like I mentioned this to you in another podcast, but there's like a stealth mechanic that if you are dirtier and you're trying to be stealthy in the wilderness, you're going to blend in more. But if you're too dirty, you're going to start to smell bad, and stealth is going to be less effective because people are going to smell you before they see you. And dogs are going to notice you, and they're going to come find you and bark at you until humans come to arrest you. Like, it's insane, the amount of attention to detail. The world is the most alive world, and there's other games in this list that, are up there, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has the most alive open world I have ever seen. All of the NPCs have things that they're doing, which is not new to gaming, but when you, like, any way that you interact with them, even if you just stare at them for too long, they're like, what are you doing? Like, get away from me,
Oh my God.
And the attention to detail is phenomenal, which wasn't even like a goal of theirs. It's not like Rockstar where they're like, yeah, if your horse is in the cold, then their balls are going to shrivel up. It's like, no, we're not doing stuff like shrinkage on horses, but it's things that you'll actually notice, and it's so like real life medieval. And I'm not even a big medieval guy. I'm really not. But after that game, I kind of am. Like, yeah, I kind of want a suit of armor. I don't know. That seems kind of sick. So, anyways, highly recommend it. It is a slower game, I will say. This is like, the pacing is slow. It is very open world. In the start of the game, you have nothing, and you kind of lose your skill base because you get really injured in this big thing that happens at the start of the game. You don't have a horse. And I remember in the beginning of the game, I have to walk from one town to another, and it took me like 20 minutes in real time to walk from one town to another, which is a micro section of this map. The map is enormous, but I had to walk because I didn't have a horse yet. I could have gone and stolen a horse, but I didn't want to get like crime. If you go to like a tailor shop and you steal all of the clothing there to try to like sell, like in Skyrim, the people of the town are going to recognize that that's stolen material. Like the shop owner will be like, hey, that's my effing hat. Give me hey, guards, come here. This is the guy. He stole all my stuff. And they're going to like want to imprison you. It's just nuts. Like things that usually like hacks that you do in game, like I'm just going to rob everything and then sell it to merchants. No, like they kind of, joke's on you. You thought you could do that in this game. You cannot. You can't put a barrel on somebody's head and then get, be invisible and stuff like that. So anyways, extremely fun game, very in-depth. If you love role-playing, and I mean true role-playing, where it's like, hey, I'm a knight in shining armor, everything from blacksmithing my own sword to trying to sneak around and finding a place to sleep tonight because it's the middle of the night and I can't see anything because I don't have a torch, and people are getting mad at me because I don't have a torch because it's against the law to not have a torch at night when you're out and about. So I got to find somewhere to sleep, but if somebody catches me while I'm sleeping in their house, they're going to arrest me. But like everything is fun in that game. Like, it's not just the combat. The combat's like one of the facets of this game. So, anyways, so in depth, so fun. If you like open world RPGs, this is it.
Wow. I mean that's like quite the recommendation. I love when new games make it on these lists, man. It's such a good time for gaming. It's
It
like
just
there are
reinvigorates you. Like good,
yes.
amazing games like what I had 15 years ago still exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I think I like you mentioned, like Crimson Desert's tomorrow. Because of the experience you just had with Kingdom Come, you might be even more excited for this game. And it sounds like it's going to be a very different game. But I've heard incredible things about KCD2. I heard the first one was like, this is a pretty cool idea, and then the second one's like, holy shit, they actually did
Yeah,
it. Like
they cooked.
I've heard like it's the most detailed game of all time. It's one of the best. I've heard it from so many people. You're not the only one, and I'm so glad to hear it this high up on your list. That's so cool. I love that.
And
That's
Johnny, not only do I recommend this game, but I bought this game for you.
I know.
You have
it's
it in your
on.
Steam library, bro.
I have to play it. I know I do.
Johnny
And I
did give
will.
me his capture card because mine broke, and so it wasn't like I just gave it to him. But that was my payment to
told
him.
him
Was,
not
I'm going to
to.
buy you this game. Someday he'll play it. He's got a lot on his list.
I mean, I've got a lot on the list, but it is certainly on there. I've heard incredible reviews, not just yours. So, all right, Bubba, we're entering the top 3. This is and mine actually a little different from your list. Mine are ranked. Like this is the ranking. Put a gun to my head. This is what I would come out with. So, my third favorite game of all time is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yes.
Okay.
It's here. Valhalla, if you're listening still, an hour and a half in, you know. I've said it a bajillion times. It's just a personal thing, I think, with this game. It is like my complete and total dream video game. Like if I could make a video game, it would come out to look a lot like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You have history aspects. You have not only history aspects, but Viking aspects, medieval aspects, Norse mythology on top of Vikings. It's not just, 900 AD Vikings in England. It's you go back through these old Norse stories and you relive them. It's Assassin's Creed. Like it is everything I love in one game, in a stunning open world, number of stunning open worlds. One of my favorite characters in Eivor. I think, this is a Johnny opinion only, it's a fantastic story. I think Eivor's characters, not fantastically told in its pacing and such, but the narrative they wrote for these characters is fantastic. The modern day is the best, is one of the best modern days in Assassin's Creed. The Isu lore, some of the best. But really, when it comes down to it, all said and done, why is this game number one? I just love Vikings, raiding medieval England. I think it is my most interesting. Like I am obsessed with it. That time period, and that era, and then you crank up the fantasy and the Assassin's Creed into it, and it's a total dream for me. Atmosphere, bang on. The music is so fun. The gameplay
Music is phenomenal.
so fun.
I always
Music's
listen
phenomenal. I love the characters. I love Eivor, specifically male Eivor for his voice actor, but female Eivor works better for story reasons, which we all know and I've talked about many times. I love Sigurd. I love Eivor's relationship with Odin in his head and how you see these parallels between Odin and when then later you see Basim. Basim loses that battle and Eivor prevails and he says, no, Odin, I have these friends. And you get that amazing scene in Valhalla where he's like battling in his head. I understand it's a hot take. I understand this is not for everybody, but what AC Johnny likes in video games, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is it. Like this is my dream video game in so many ways for the history, the atmosphere, the music, the gameplay, the kind of game it is, this giant open world where this is why I was so excited for Shadows. I love turning on a game, you say new game, and then for the first time, like, just like I did with Shadows, when you open up this game for the first time, you're like, I have like 100 hours ahead of me. Like that is one of the best feelings. And you're like, I know I'm about to put a significant amount of my life into getting to know these characters, getting to know this game, getting to know this world. That's such an amazing feeling, and there is no better example of that feeling than Valhalla for me. It's one of the only games, every single time I turn it on, I smile. I get all excited. It's like a total, just perfect game for me. I love it so much. So, number 3, Valhalla made number 3.
The real question is, did you romance Randvi?
Every freaking playthrough. That's my wife right there. They don't even like each other, and I do it every time. Every time I go to see her, I click the little heart option. Yeah. Don't care.
For all of you out there, if you romance Randvi, you are the problem with the world. I will die on a hill. How dare you betray Sigurd? How dare you take his girl? And you deserve that shitty ending at the end of the game when he gets mad at you because you took his girl.
Bubba, you're looking at the champ. You only have to hit 2 of the correct decisions. And I make sure if I hit the other 2, I'll get the good ending, and then I can still be with Randvi. And every time I go to the map room, I hit the heart option, and he picks her up and takes her to the bedroom. And I say, that's right. That's mine. That's mine right there. So, yeah, screw that.
That's crazy. Yeah, dude, when that started happening, I was like agape. I was like, ain't no way this freaking little skank is trying to romance Eivor Wolfkiss. Like, get your little Cassandra-haired ass out of here.
Get it over here.
Dude, I didn't even know. I didn't know that there was going to be different endings, and so I didn't think twice about it. And then at the dead end where he, like, that comes up, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, let's freaking go. Like, that made it so much more worth it, but I wasn't going to do it regardless, bro.
Oh, he says that they didn't even love each other. Give me a break. That's the good ending, dude, as far as I'm concerned.
She's freaking scandalous.
Baddie,
Anyways. All right. One of these days we got to do a top 10 baddie list on AC Games.
I'm in on that.
Nah, dude. Randvi wouldn't even make the top 10.
Oh, move on. Go to your game. I can't listen to
this. Okay. My number 3. So this is where we start to get. This is where I start to become very predictable. My number 3 is Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't think I need to go in that much detail. Everybody here knows Red Dead 2 is one of the best games. It is very renowned. It is probably one of the most popular games in all history. I don't need to defend it. I don't need to explain. You know, Rockstar is a machine. They made GTA 5 and said, let's do it again with cowboys, baby. And they already made Red Dead 1. And attention to detail is their middle name. So they love to make horse scrotums shrivel in the snow and, everything under the sun. But that truly was, again, slower paced. In my opinion, it's not a fast game. It took me 130 hours to beat that game. And so slower paced, but it is through and through a Western cowboy simulator, and I love it. But it doesn't stop there. It's not like it puts the story second. The story is first in that game. And in a game where so many other things are so detailed and thought out, the hunting mechanics, the gunplay mechanics, the stealth, the melee, the horse mechanics with the horse, wrangling and the gambling, like you can do poker. I learned how to play poker because of that video game. Literally, like I was like, hey, I'm going to figure this out because I don't know how to play poker.
That's
and
awesome.
Just like phenomenal through and through. The attention to detail, very alive world. Very alive. And same thing, some of the things that I mentioned about KCD2, like, for example, if you just sit there and stare at someone, they're going to be like, what are you doing? Get away from me. They might even attack you. I love my favorite is you can greet people or you can antagonize them. And there's a combo that if you do greet, antagonize, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to look up YouTube videos or TikToks about this. But he'll be like, he'll just like roast somebody. He's like, hey there, mister. And he'll be like, hey, how's it going? That's a nice hat you've got on your head. And he's like, oh, thank you. For an idiot. And just like randomly out of nowhere, just left turn is like, just roast this guy. And he's like, excuse me? And then you can go back to being nice. Calm down, calm down. I'm just joking, or what? Just like, but he will seriously roast people, and the dialogue is random every single time. And yeah, it's just like, and I didn't even know that until after I beat the game. I saw like videos about the greet antagonize combo, and it's so funny. But anyways, it is through and through cowboy western simulator. I love it. I love all of the zones that you get to go to. Freaking Strawberry is my favorite town. I wish I could go to Strawberry in real life. It's like Northern California 200 years ago. And yeah, freaking love it. If you haven't played it, you have to. That is a must. You cannot die on this earth until you play Red Dead 2. 10 out of 10 story, 10 out of 10 protagonist, 10 out of 10 world. It's phenomenal.
Well, I have a
Have you played that
game?
game?
Well, so I was going to say,
Wow.
I understand I'm in the wrong here.
Are you even a gamer, bro?
Listen. I love cowboys. And so I got this game in 2021 on PS4, and I played it for about 12 hours. I just couldn't do it. I thought, and I know I'm wrong. Like, before anyone's typing, listen, I understand I'm incorrect in this opinion. I understand that I'm missing out on like the greatest experience ever. I understand. The gameplay was just too boring for me. I just couldn't do it. The combat was like nothing to me. I just couldn't get into it. And so I got out of the snow and I went to that little settlement you go to for a bit, and I was like, I think I just moved on. I was like playing Fort, and I just kind of dropped it without necessarily meaning to. I wasn't actively like, I hate this, but I just moved on, and I will go back and play it one day. I know I'm missing out, but okay. The other part is
be very
a year
patient
later.
with that game.
Say that again?
I said you have to be very patient with that game. And
you
I gotta take your time.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I should have. I understand I'm wrong, everybody. Listen, but so 2 years later, my best friend in college, he is the biggest GTA fan. He played it like a whole bunch of times. GTA 5, I should say specifically. And so he was like, let me get Red Dead 2. And I watched him play almost the whole thing. So I know the story quite well.
Okay.
I sat on his bed, and he like put speakers on his PC, and I just watched him play.
Oh, that's fun.
It was sick. It was fun. So like, I know the story and stuff, and it is amazing. I will get around to it one day. I couldn't do it back then, and I needed to be more patient. But whatever. Nice top 3. I'm sure that's correct, and I'm sorry to everyone listening. I'm sorry. All right, my number 2. So number 2 is where I'm going to put another line in the sand. This is now the top echelon. Number 1 and number 2 on my list. This is in my opinion the only like 11 out of 10s. Like, these are better than perfect. These are more like special than the rest of these. Like, these are personal, like top tier. Wouldn't trade them for anything. They are still ordered though. So number 2, my second favorite video game of all time, is Street Fighter 4.
Dang, I was wondering what your number 2 was going to be, because I had no idea. I know what your number 1 is, but
yeah. So Street Fighter 4, as I was mentioning, is like an 11 out of 10 to me. It is a very special game to me. This, I think I picked up when I was like 12. It was my first introduction to like multiplayer games, I want to say, like not playing COD with my brothers or Madden or FIFA. Like, this was the first time I hopped online and fought people. I got it on my 3DS. I got it on my PS3. I got it on my PS4, and I have it on my PC. I have it on so many things. I think on my 3DS I have 1,200 hours. My PS3 maybe 400. My PS4 maybe 500. Like, I've put in an ungodly amount of hours into this video game. It more so, like, I love the gameplay. I think it's the best fighting game ever made. And I love all Street Fighter. Street Fighter 5 and 6 I've played as well, and 3. I love them all. They could have all been in my honorable mentions. They could have snuck into the top 10, probably. Street Fighter 6 maybe would. But I didn't want to put multiple on there because that's boring, and this is the best one by far, in my opinion. I simply, well, like, this got me into YouTube for video games. This got me into content around video games. I found out what IGN was because of Street Fighter 4. I mean, this was my introduction to gaming, period. And it's the reason I'm a fighting game fan as much as I am. It's my favorite genre. More than shooters, more than open world, more than Assassin's Creed, more than anything. Fighting games is 1-1. It's my favorite. I could play them till I die. If I was left with one genre left to play, I could play fighting games forever. And Street Fighter 4 is the best version of that. And I said earlier, like, Fortnite's the reason I'm talking to you from a content perspective. Street Fighter 4 is the reason I play video games, like, period. It was my first love, right? It was the first thing I was ever addicted to and got into and was like, hey, like, what did he just do? I have to learn how to do that. Let me go into training mode. Let me go and put these hours into learning how to get better at this thing. And that loop of let me get better lasted me for thousands and thousands of hours over the last, whatever, almost 15 years now. So it's the game I've bought the most times. Fun fact. I think 4 copies of it is definitely my record.
Okay.
I ported it. It was my first game I ever bought on Steam because I played it on his old laptop in like 2018 or something just to like get by because I was so bored. And I was like, let me get Street Fighter for $20 or whatever it was. It's, it's a near perfect game. If it's old now, and I'm sure a lot of people find jank to it, again, kind of like Fortnite.
Yeah, when did it come out?
2008 was the initial version. And it came out with a couple more. I think the last version that came out was Ultra Street Fighter 4 in 2012. So most of my experience is with Ultra. But best roster in a fighting game. And like Fortnite, like I think it has such a high skill ceiling. It's a lot harder than Street Fighter 5 or 6 that came out after it. They kind of made it a little more accessible. This game's hard as shit. And I taught myself every little thing. I didn't have anybody to play with. I sat down and I grinded it out. And that's where the thousands of hours came from. I'll love it forever. It's probably my favorite. It's definitely my favorite multiplayer game ever. And it is a total personal favorite. Second favorite game of all time, for sure. If you haven't played it, it's still real good.
Are you excited for the movie?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, it looks over the top and ridiculous, but that's like the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out is like serious and it looks cool and it's going to be like, metal and like fire and blood and like that's not Street Fighter. Street Fighter is goofy and cartoony and the castings are like half UFC guys, half WWE guys. Like it's pretty cool. I am excited for it. It might be terrible, but in a way, like it should be, if that makes any sense.
I get you.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I'm a nerd for Street Fighter.
I love it. Yeah, I've never really played them except for Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yeah, hell yeah.
From
Turbo
1991 or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Okay. Very different list, I think.
Very different.
It's fair to say. We expected that.
Yeah.
So my number 2 and number 1 are extremely interchangeable. They are 2 very different games, even though they might seem like the same genre. They are my top 2 for very different reasons. And so it's really difficult for me to say number 1 versus number 2. I picked my number 1 purely just out of legendary status. But they're so interchangeable. But my number 2 is The Witcher 3.
I thought that was for sure your number 1.
Yeah, probably thought it was going to be number 1. I often claim that it's my number 1. I think critically, it's probably my number 1. It has to be my number 1 critically. I don't think that's what this list is, right? A lot of it is enjoyability for the first playthrough.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where this game was negative for me. My very first playthrough was rough. I like I said in the beginning, I am a vibes guy. I love fantasy. I love, bright, happy games. I love, combat, whatever. But I don't like the creepy, dark, eerie, video games. And Witcher 3 is one of those. And where The Witcher 3 puts you off in the start of the game is a place called Velen, which is like a swamp wasteland full of like water zombies, these like water witches called water hags, and like these like the crones. It's just a nasty, nasty part of the game. Some of the most heart-wrenching story beats happen in this game. Not in relation to the main character Geralt, but with other characters, and it's just like, ugh. It really shows you, like, realistically, even in a fantasy setting, just how grounded it is with, like, how war affects people and how famine and disease affects people. And Geralt is really an outsider to all of this. He's not involved with the war. He's immune to any diseases or sicknesses. He's like a superhuman. He's like stronger than Captain America. But also he's an outcast. He's a witcher. He is beyond the guy's like 115, 130 years old. But he's beyond the peak era of these witchers, and people hate him. And in the third game, you can play the third game without having played 1 and 2. In fact, I do not recommend you play number 1. They are remaking it as we speak. I'm hoping it comes out next year. And they're working on Witcher 4 in tandem. But yeah, Witcher 1's rough. Definitely a different game. Witcher 2's great. But yeah, The Witcher 3 is just... It is frankly the best story told in video games ever. It is a phenomenal casting for voice acting, as well as just Geralt as the main character is like the best archetype for a main character that you can play. He exists in this gray area of morality. He doesn't tie himself to one thing or another. And so for you to play an RPG that's not make your own character, but it is, you are a character, but it's up to you what you do. He truly is moldable however you want him to be. I think this is kind of where Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, that's not the case so much. You play Henry of Skalitz in KCD 2, and he just ought to be a good guy. Yeah, you can commit crimes, but you just look at the guy and the way that he talks to people, he's so polite. And even when you try to be mean and forceful with people, the acting's great, but it's like, this is a nice guy pretending to be mean, right? Like, this isn't actually a mean guy. Like, if you kind of sway towards the dark end of morality, it's not, you're just not picking up what he's putting down. He's kind of meant to be a good guy. But The Witcher, there's not a morality system like in Fable or anything like that, but each choice you make, it feels like something Geralt would have chosen. And there are many, many different endings to this game. And for a time, all of them were canon. That is no longer the case. Now, technically, there is a canon ending. Since they are making The Witcher 4, there are characters in The Witcher 4 that, in some of the endings, do not survive at the end of Witcher 3. So it's like, okay, obviously, there are canon endings here. But it is the perfect role-playing game. The world is phenomenal. Velen's rough. I don't love Velen in the start, but then it takes you to this giant fantasy city of Novigrad, which is just a beautiful, large city with a lot happening. And then my favorite area is the Isle of Skellige, which is like a very Norse mountain isle, kind of very Norway feeling, Skyrim feeling area where, these Vikings essentially exist, and there's a lot going on there. And anyways, incredible story. The music is a 10 out of 10. Geralt is a 10 out of 10. And the story that they tell is paced perfectly. It is a long-ass game, but it captivates you the entire time. Yes, you can go do side quests. Yes, you can go hunt monsters on the side. Yes, you can go play the game of Gwent, which is a card game in the game, and you can get addicted to it. The first time I played it, I did not touch Gwent. I think the second or third time I played it, I did, and I loved it. And I was like, man, I was actually missing out. But the first time I played it, it was hard to get into, but then I eventually did finish it. I was like, okay, that was incredible. And then every time after that, it's just so amazing. I love the show. I've got entire here's a little. I've got Geralt of Rivia. You can see his arm. You've got Skyrim guy here, but Geralt of Rivia is right here on my shelf. And then little nerdiness for you. I've got steel swords hanging on my wall.
Oh yeah,
from The Witcher. And so I got these. It's beautiful. It's a full length, very, very pretty sword. But I've got in The Witcher, he's got a steel sword for humans and a silver sword. This is the silver one for monsters. And so love it. I've got these hanging on my wall. It's the favorite part of my office. But yeah, 10 out of 10. If you haven't played The Witcher, you got to play it. I will say it's maybe not for everybody. If you don't love role-playing games, if you don't like longer games, there's the combat. Like the combat is actually relatively simple. You can make it way more difficult on the harder difficulty settings. But it is a pretty simple combat system with like light attack, heavy attack, dodge, parry, right? And there's some magic involved. And so, anyways, love The Witcher. It is very interchangeable with my number one, but for now, it's sitting at number two.
I have watched the show. I've never played the game. I'll get to it. I hope the fourth game looks like it did in that preview like a year ago, because that looked absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah, I really hope so. I was a little bummed to hear that wasn't really the gameplay. That was like...
Yeah.
That was like the Unreal Engine 5
showcase thing.
Showcase of it.
I know.
And it's like, okay.
I hope it looks like that. Because it looked nuts. But I've heard nothing but the absolute greatest of things. I'm sure that the next one will be extremely hyped. So that hell yeah, I'm surprised that's not your number one, just based on, how much whenever we talk about this stuff. But I do know your number one. I'm not going to spoil it, so I will let you do that in a second. But you mentioned, it might not be for everyone. My number one is certainly not for everyone.
Yep.
However,
I can attest to that a little bit.
So my favorite, I chose the series over one game because they are literally like, you cannot play the second game without playing the first one, and the gameplay is almost identical to the point where like it doesn't really matter where the first one ends and the second one starts. The second one has a lot better gameplay, but yeah. But anyway, my favorite game of all time is Death Stranding. If I had to pick, I'd pick Death Stranding 2.
Okay.
But then Death Stranding 1 would be my second favorite game of all time. And I didn't want to do that on the list because that's a waste of a slot. And it is the single greatest story ever told, I think. It's my personal favorite. I've never read a book, seen a movie, a show, anything with something as like mind-boggling as the world that Kojima made in this series. It's like a Tolkien level like world building. Like he has like layers to stuff that make you feel so in this reality, because they are terms that you don't know what they mean, but all the characters are talking about these terms that are so that the world building is second to none. It's maybe second to Tolkien. I'll say that. But it's unbelievable. The performances are unbelievable. The mocap is amazing. So if for those of you who aren't aware, they did full mocap with fully like real actors. Like Norman Reedus, the guy who's in The Walking Dead, is the main character in these games, and he is unbelievable. All of these actors, there's a cast of like 10 people, and they do full mocap. They do full scenes. They're really acting. Elle Fanning's in the second one, and she's amazing. I think specifically the second game has the best soundtrack in gaming.
Woodkid, that's my favorite artist of all time.
Woodkid, he goes crazy. Death Stranding 2 is the best looking game I've ever played. And that's saying a lot. I mean, it uses the Decima engine. So this is the Horizon engine. So if anybody's played Horizon, you're familiar with how bananas those games look. This game looks better. Best looking game, best story, best soundtrack. And the gameplay, for me, this is where a lot of people would turn it off. It works so well. You are a post-apocalyptic delivery man, essentially. You literally take a package from one spot and you walk. The map is the gameplay. So you have to figure out your route. It's all based on like picking what you're bringing with you so that your weight's correct and you can still carry your cargo, but you have like enough ladders to get through this hard part of the mountains, or you bring enough, the right kind of boots so you don't slip down the snow. That's not enticing to a lot of people, and I understand that. It is the most relaxing game I've ever played. It's the most like, boy, when I get out of work and I just sit down, I play this, I am like, it's my favorite world to be in. And like there's combat, there's stealth, none of it's terribly fleshed out, but it's not the point. Like, it's hard to describe really how good these games are without playing it. Like, they are so Kojima. I mentioned earlier, I'm a huge Metal Gear guy. This is like, to me, it feels like Metal Gear is, I know, again, hot take. I like Metal Gear a lot. It feels like Kojima was like, doing his thing, whatever. This feels like they let like Kojima off his leash. Like, go do the thing you really want to make, and he made it. So the story about this game, how it was made, is basically Kojima gets kicked, bonk, from Konami after Metal Gear Solid 5, and they were like, nah, dog, you're fired. He then has to kind of like go off his name value alone to build the team. He goes to PlayStation and says, I need some money to make this game. And of course, he's Hideo Kojima. He made some of the most popular games of all time with Metal Gear. And so they said, sure, but we're going to sell it only on PlayStation. And he made most of the first game that he pitched to them, from my understanding, out of like his garage. Like, it's the story that this game even exists is insane. They borrowed the Decima engine from Horizon, because PlayStation was like, we just made Horizon. You can use this engine if you want. He was like, yeah, sure. And it's like the best looking engine, in my opinion. It slaps Unreal 5. It slaps the RE engine. It's like stunning. It's sci-fi. It's horror. It's exploration. And it's the greatest story ever told, in my opinion. I remember this is one of those games you finish and you're like online for 2 weeks being like, what the hell just happened? Like, what does this mean? How did it end? What did the ending mean? Like, what is this? And you're like, it's different interpretations, and the writing is so deep. The writing is so good. It's so real. It's so believable. I bought a PS5 to play Death Stranding 2. Like, it was, for me, it was like a $450 video game, and it was worth every freaking penny. It's the greatest thing I've ever played. I can't recommend it enough. However, if you say, ooh, not for me, I totally understand, but just know you are missing out, especially the last half of these games when the story really starts cooking. You're like, it's mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. It's amazing. Favorite piece of media, potentially, of all time. So, can't speak highly enough about Death Stranding. And it was a surprise. This was not a game I was expecting to like. I remember seeing the first trailer for this at like E3 2017, and there was like a baby on the beach, and I was like, what the hell is this? And then like 4 years later, I play it for the first time, or 5 years later, something like that. And it blew me away. I wasn't expecting it at all. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the podcast, where I started branching out, and it led to some of my favorite experiences. Branch out, go to things you're not sure if you're going to like. Death Stranding is a large part of why I keep doing it, because you never know, you might surprise yourself. So Death Stranding is my 12 out of 10, best thing ever.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm missing out. I did buy it because of your recommendation. I can attest it is not for everybody.
Sorry.
I think I went in with the incorrect expectation. I was thinking like, okay, open world RPG, No. It is an RPG in the sake of like, yeah, you are role playing as this character, but there's essentially zero combat for the first 10 hours of this game. And
Correct.
When combat does show up, it's not really combat. It's just not.
Mm-mm.
And like, I would not even have combat in the list of descriptors in this video game. Maybe later on.
In 2, it definitely is. In 2, there's much more combat, for the record.
And so, but it is really like Johnny said, with, it's almost like a puzzle game in a way, like puzzle exploration, where you're not like solving riddles or puzzles, but it's like you're a delivery guy, and you have to figure out how to deliver things from point A to point B by carrying all this stuff on you. But also, even just the movement is so interesting with like the balance mechanics. And I will say the graphics, even just of the first one, I haven't played the second one. The graphics are the most realistic, like photorealistic graphics I have ever seen. Like, it looks like a rendering of Scotland. Like, it's just like, this is real life. This is not even in a game. And the music is phenomenal. It doesn't play very much, so it's a lot of just quiet walking, which I didn't love. It is very peaceful, but also freaks me the F out, because, I don't like creepy games. This is a creepy-ass game. It can be at times, right? And so it's like it goes from this peaceful Zen thing to now you're in like this corrupted zone, and there's like these freaking venom tentacle monsters that want to come and destroy you and eat your baby. And it's like, in the game that I got to, the point that I got to, I still don't know how the frick to get away from those things and how to like avoid them properly with like the little flashy thing that you've got. I'm like, I don't really know how safe I need to play it. And then I end up getting caught and just hauling ass to the place anyways. So it's like, okay. But, I do. I will. I have it to this day, Johnny. I still have it taking up precious memory
Let's go.
in my
As it
PlayStation
should.
5. I refuse to delete it. I still want to play it. I will sooner delete KCD2 before deleting this game because I made a promise. I'm gonna play that game.
Well, if you play that, I'll play KCD2.
You gotta play it. So, anyways, good game, good rec.
Thank you.
Probably for those that don't know Johnny, probably did not see that one coming at all.
Yeah, true.
Mine is way, way more predictable. And I will grab this little man that I pointed to earlier for it.
You spoiled it.
It is Skyrim. Let's see if we can get the focus on the Dovahkiin. So Johnny is about my age. He's a little younger. But I was 13 years old when Skyrim came out. That's like when I was really getting into like gaming. Like being a gamer was like a part of like who I was. I grew up playing the early Assassin's Creed games, the Halo games, Star Wars, Force Unleashed I mentioned, Smash Bros, whatever, GameCube. But Skyrim, I remember hearing about it in middle school, and I remember I had a friend, Ethan, that talked about it. He's like, you haven't heard of Skyrim? Or like Elder Scrolls? I'm like, no. And he just kind of told me how, like, explained it to me. I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And I didn't even know what genres of games were. I just kind of played whatever the heck was out there that my friends had or whatever. And so I asked for it for Christmas, and because it came out like 11/11 of 2011, came out in November. So I got it for Christmas, I think, that same year. And like Christmas break, right? Middle of Christmas break, I've got like a week or two off, not two, but like a week off, and it was just Skyrim. That's it. Skyrim all winter long. And I live in Utah. And so we got crazy mountains and pine trees and snow. And where I lived at the time, my family still lives there, is right up against the edge of the mountain there. And so like I felt like I was like living in Skyrim. Like I remember like walking around my neighborhood being like, dude, I'm a freaking Nord in Skyrim. This is sick. And so like to this day there's so much nostalgia. The first time playing it was just magical. It's been a part of me ever since. The soundtrack that Jeremy Soule created for just Elder Scrolls altogether is absolutely peak. I listen to it just about every single day. Like for the past almost 20 years, I guess 15 years, I have listened to the Elder Scrolls 5 soundtrack so many times. It is the most listened to the point that like when people ask me about like my favorite musician or music, what do I listen to? I'm like, I kind of don't. I just listen to movie and game soundtracks, specifically Skyrim, on loop. Mm-hmm. Like it's just, that's it. And so phenomenal game, and the replayability is 100% the most replayable game in history. You can do different builds every single time, have different characters. It is a build your own character. So again, very different from The Witcher 3. This isn't a role-playing game as a character. You are building your own persona. If you want to if you want to pizzazz that mentally all up, you can. I don't really do that, but I'm the stealth archer just about every single time. And there's still to this day, probably thousands of hours later, I will load up a new save for Elder Scrolls, for Skyrim, and I will run into quests and side things that I had never, ever seen before. And, like, that's just insane to me. And, my experience, the outcomes of these missions is going to be different every time. This is a game from 2011. And like you said, how you've owned, what was the game that you owned the most?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter?
Yeah. Mm.
I have owned, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I have owned Skyrim on PS3, on Xbox One, on PC, on Switch, and on VR.
Oh my god.
And on PC I have multiple versions. I have the original Elder Scrolls 6, and then I have the special edition 5 years later, and then I have the anniversary edition 10 years later.
Oh my god.
Bethesda has scammed me out of my money. And I've bought every iteration of this game. And it is the best game ever made. It is legendary. It is, in my opinion, probably just like GTA 5 and Skyrim are like and I'm not a GTA guy. I've never played the GTA story. I've only played online, but I get it. Like GTA and Skyrim are like the games. If you could define gaming in a history book, it would be those two video games. And like maybe you could throw Halo in there, but it's like no, it's really those two. There's a reason why people are like myself are itching for Elder Scrolls 6 and are pissed at Bethesda for dropping the ball like they have. I doubt it's going to be anywhere near the magic that Elder Scrolls 5 was. But nonetheless, Skyrim is legendary. It is a game, in my opinion, for everyone. Anybody can get into Skyrim and have so much fun. And no matter the pacing or the skill level of that, of gamer that you are. I've had my wife, who is not a gamer at all, play it on like novice mode, right? And she loves it. And so she gets motion sick really easy. So the first person thing is not. There is a third person mode, which is good. But yeah, anyways, so perfect. It's just such a great game. It's so classic. It's so legendary, so replayable, and it's just for everybody.
So I wanted to ask you this back when you were talking about The Witcher. Bubba, you have The Witcher 4 and Elder Scrolls 6 on the somewhat near horizon. You have
You're doing it like Elder Scrolls 6 isn't even like
No. Listen,
in reality.
both games will be out before 2030. I think that's true.
I think it's
Which
true.
one are you more excited for?
It has to be Elder Scrolls 6. The Witcher 4 is going to be very cool. I did not expect it. Because at the end of The Witcher 3, with them coming out and saying none of the endings are canon and all of them are canon, like whatever ending you got is canon, we are not making a fourth game. They said that. They're like, we're not continuing Geralt's story. This is it. This is the finale. So whatever ending you got, that's it. And then they come out 10 years later with a Witcher 4 trailer. I was like, wait. And I thought that they revealed in like 2022, they revealed like an image for The Witcher, for the new Witcher game coming out. But I thought that they were like either doing a prequel, like a few hundred years before Geralt during like the peak of the Witchers, and you're just playing a different Witcher in a different story, or maybe after the fact. But it just wasn't in relation to Geralt. It was just another Witcher story, which I would have been fine with. But then for them to have Ciri specifically be the main protagonist, I love Ciri. But
so you're back. Well,
yeah, not to spoil anything, but she can either live or die at the end, or disappear. There's like multiple endings, and same with Geralt. He can live or die at the end. So it's like to see her back is like, okay, obviously there's a canon ending now. I love Ciri. I'm excited to see what happens. But anyways, yeah, I'm excited for that. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
Elder Scrolls 6, I have a decent expectation, but I'm not overhyping it. But I'm just very upset that they announced it in 2018 with an E3 trailer. An E3 trailer 8 years ago.
It's gonna skip a console generation. It was a PS4 like announced game, and it will probably be a PS6 launch game in 2029.
The distance between 2011 to 2018 from releasing ES5 and now announcing ES6 was less time than the announcement to now.
Oh no.
How is that even possible? Like, they have dropped the ball so much with Starfield and like not expediting this. Like, I thought for sure after they got purchased by Microsoft that they would just have like hella money and hella resources to get this effing done, and they haven't. Yeah. And it's infuriating, and we have no announcement. We have no trailers. We have no expectation for release date. Like, what do we even expect? And then you've got The Witcher 4 doing the opposite, where they like release a teaser image in 2024, and then 2025 they release an E3 trailer, and then they're like, it's coming out in 2026. Like, whoa! That was unexpected, but having like kind of a 2-year hype period and then a release, yes. Like, that is the cadence that you need to have.
Yeah.
So,
Which
anyways.
Which one do you think more critically? Like GTA 6 might be the most hyped game I've ever seen in my life. I have a feeling Elder Scrolls 6 will reach similar levels. I really do.
I think
I don't
that
know if
already,
Witcher 4 will.
I think it's already a fail because expectations have been built, and this also applies to GTA 6.
I was going to say, I don't think GTA 6 is going to be a fail.
The hype, they're going to be a financial success, I think, no matter what. But I think people's expectations are so high.
Yeah.
The games are going to come out buggy. They're going to come out seemingly unfinished. And it's not going to be, especially ES6, with being built on such an old engine. Graphically, I'm worried it's going to suffer. Red Dead, Rockstar has always led the genre as far as graphics and attention to detail and gameplay.
Right.
Bethesda has not. Bethesda's always been behind the curve. They've never been the cutting edge, but they have been the ones to use, what is already existing to its fullest capacity. They started this, though, 15 years ago. And so, yeah, they made a game that was phenomenal for 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but now we're going into 2030 soon. Like, it's going to feel like a PS4 game, and I'm worried about that. Unless, I feel like a lot of games are able to be updated very well as they are produced. So a good example of that is Crimson Desert. They announced Crimson Desert back in 2020, and then they backtracked, and they were like, and that was on a completely different engine.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, back in 2020, E3, they announced it, and they had a trailer for it and gameplay footage. Like, they were making it.
I did not know that.
And they were like, we want to change this from being an MMO to being a single-player action RPG, whatever. And so they kind of reset, and they were like, hey, this is going to take a lot of time. We need to remake our engine to match current things going on. And so Bethesda's the same way. They have their own engine. They can be doing the same things. But if you look at the E3 trailer from 2020 to the trailers we're seeing now, vastly different. It's still the same game. It looks the same, but if you pay attention to the graphics and, the movement and the particles and everything that you're seeing, it's like, oh, no. They took a game that they started developing probably in 2017, and they've, over time, advanced the graphics and the core engine along with the actual core gameplay itself and all of that, and the map and everything. And so in a game that takes this long to develop, you have to keep updating your game engine to be specced out with the current stuff. So I'm really hoping Bethesda's doing the same, but there's no way to know because we haven't had any ounce of leaks or gameplay or anything.
You're all fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm not going to hate it, even if it's not up to people's hype. I can't hate Elder Scrolls ever. I even love Elder Scrolls Online, the MMO. Freaking love that game. It's great. I love it. And people shiz on that all the time. But
you have a very exciting 3 years ahead of us, my friend.
I think so.
You got we
got Fable coming out this year. I love Fable. Fable was one of my original RPG games I ever played. I am so excited to see what they do.
And this one looks pretty amazing.
Looks amazing. I'm more excited for that than I am Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert's like interesting. It'll be fun. It'll be a fad. I'll play the crap out of it for a month, I'm sure. But Fable is my genre. I love
When does
Fable.
it come out?
I think like summer.
Wow. All right. Well, we've got stuff to play. Guys, it's 1 a.m. It's 2.5 hours in almost. This was this might be my favorite podcast we've ever done. This was so much fun.
Really? Okay, good.
I love doing this. This is so much fun. So, guys, leave us your top 10. I want to know in order. Don't, wimp out. You got to put them in order.
Please.
I want to see your top 10s and let us know if you like these kinds of podcasts. I had so much fun doing this. I hope you did too, Bubba.
I think every new podcast is my favorite. We just have so much fun every time we do it, no matter what we talk about. So,
famous last words. Bubba was like, "We could do this in an hour." Sure,
dude. Honestly, I was like, "This is just a top 10 list, right? We can just rattle through it." Oh, and then here we are preaching from the rooftops about our favorite games because we love them so much.
It was so fun. Hey, well, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, we hope you enjoyed nerding out with us. Bubba, any closing remarks for our wonderful viewers?
Nope. We love you guys. If you made it this far,
we love you.
Holy cow. You're the best. And I am very hoarse, and Johnny's very tired. So Take care.
Until next time, everybody. Peace and love. Good night.
Bye.